was defiled by Pak Trojans as part of its Break India plot. He was branded Khalistani for dropping 3 catches in the match. He was targeted for dropping the catch of Asif Ali in the crucial 18th over of the match. And in the final over, he was unable to defend 7 runs, which Pakistan scored to win the match. The page was defiled to portray that it was Indians who orchestrated the attack on Arshdeep. The edit history of Arshdeep's Wikipedia page revealed Pakistan's sinister plot. When the IP address was traced, it was found linked to Pakistan Telecommunication Company Limited. On Twitter too, the anti-India toolkit was playing out. Twitter handles traced to Pakistan were found mocking and calling the player a Khalistani separatist in a bid to turn public opinion in India against the player. But from cricketers to netas, India is standing with Arshdeep. Let's first listen to the reactions coming in.
देखिए गलती किसी से भी हो सकती है और बड़ा मैच है, सिचुएशन भी थोड़ी टाइट थी, ये सब चीज़ें नेचुरल है फील करने के लिए, लेकिन सीनियर प्लेयर आपके आसपास आते हैं, कल हम लोग एज ए टीम फिर इकट्ठा होंगे, तो जब माहौल अच्छा होता है तो फिर आप उस चीज़ से सीखते हैं और अगली बार अगर वैसी अपॉर्चुनिटी आए तो आप लुक फॉरवर्ड करते हैं कि यार दोबारा मेरे पास क्या जानी चाहिए।
अर्शदीप को खालिस्तान के साथ जोड़कर उसकी छवि को खराब करने का काम कर रहे हैं। देश में, भारत में अंदर सिखों के खिलाफ अपनी जहर उगल रहे हैं। इन सभी की मैं कड़े शब्दों में निंदा करता हूं। मैं भारत सरकार से भी आग्रह करता हूं कि पाकिस्तान के ऐसे लोगों के खिलाफ कार्रवाई करने के लिए पाकिस्तान को मजबूर किया जाए और ये ISI का एजेंडा जो है किसी सूरत में ना आज तक लागू हमने होने दिया है ना होने देंगे।
Yesterday, in a nail-biting match between arch rivals India and Pakistan, resulted, or rather tilted, in favor of Pakistan in almost the last couple of balls. Now, this does not give any occasion for anybody to criticize Indian players, and much less a young Arshdeep, who has been an upcoming talent for India, need not be discouraged only because he dropped a catch. I think the government of India, the sports minister, the BCCI, the authorities, they all must stand up and support the young talent.
Well, the centre summoned Wikipedia executives in India and sought an explanation. The centre believes that this disinformation could disturb communal harmony. But this is not the first time when Pak trolls used religion to sow the seed of divide. The same pattern was observed when Mohammad Shami was viciously trolled after India's loss to Pakistan in the T20 World Cup. That time too, Pakistani handles started tweeting by branding Arshdeep as Khalistani. The hashtag mainly emerged from 3 locations. 30.5% of the tweets with hashtag Khalistani originated from Pakistan, while 26.8% originated from US and 22.8% from India. Before we go across to our guests and open this up, let's listen to what Mohammad Shami had to say.
हाँ, तो एक ही चीज बोलना चाहूँगा, इन लोगों पर ध्यान ना दिया जाए कि प्लेयर हमेशा 100% देते हैं, देते आए और देते हैं। उसकी सपोर्ट में पूरे इंडिया के सारे प्लेयर खड़े हैं, देश खड़ा है, तो ऐसी सोचने वाली बात नहीं है। मैच हार की सोचती रहती है।
आपके साथ भी हो चुका है वर्ल्ड T20 के टाइम पर।
सारे लोग बोल रहे हैं कि जानबूझ के कोई नहीं करता, जो कंट्री खेलता है उसको क्या हर्ट होता है उसको पता है, समझे? अगर किसी में मैं तो पहले भी बोल चुका हूँ, जिसमें दम हो वो अपने रियल अकाउंट पे आके बोले ना, फेक अकाउंट से तो कोई भी बोल सकता है।
Let's directly go across to our guests. We're joined by Sanju Verma of the Bharatiya Janata Party. We have author Dr. Anand Ranganathan on the broadcast. We're also joined by Vivek Srivastav, a political analyst, Lokesh Jindal, leader of the Congress, Tausif Ahmed, also a political analyst. Good evening to all of you. And I want to come to you first, Lokesh Jindal. Look at the desperation of our neighbor trying to capitalize a dropped catch as well to pit an Indian against an Indian. And some did also fall into the trap thinking that it is Indians who are criticizing Arshdeep. But, you know, it's evident that Arshdeep was not the target. The real target was India. The real target was the communal harmony in India. First, what are your views, Lokesh Jindal?
Yes, good evening, everybody. Yes, I would like to agree with your points. The real target was the communal harmony in India, or the real target was the free speech. Now, on 1st of June 2022, the Ministry of Information and Technology, it came out with a draft amendment to IT Rules 2021. And now on 6th of June, it further increased all forms of restrictions upon the use of free media as well as free speech. Now, whether the government is making it as a ground so as to regulate the social media by calling in Wikipedia, holding it responsible that it was because of you that Arshdeep and his name got targeted. Now, that is something which is not called for. What we want to oppose over here is that the government, it is condemnable, the manner in which Arshdeep was targeted for a loss in the Pakistan match and the way his page was edited. That's condemnable. But the manner in which Ministry of Information and Technology has been acting by holding Wikipedia responsible,
Lokesh,
and
how else do you suggest that the matter should be taken up? If the disinformation campaign is happening on a platform called Wikipedia, why shouldn't the representatives be summoned? What other measures do you suggest the government take?
There has to be a probe. There has to be, we can use Interpol. We can make use of the agencies to investigate into this matter. Bring to the, have all those who have done this particular mischief, they must be brought within the ambit of law and they must be punished. But this should not be used as a means to curb the free speech.
These individuals are sitting there in Pakistan using social media platforms. Using social media platforms like Twitter, using the Wikipedia page to sow seeds of hatred and division here in India.
Let me correct you. Any Indian can make use of a VPN, virtual privacy network, and via this virtual private network, they have that particular IP address traced from any country in the world.
Okay, so you're saying these are individuals sitting in India and doing it?
Available. So let us not have this particular incident being used as a ground so as to curb further free speech and expression.
What are you saying? Are you saying that people here in India have done this? And they are showing that their IP address is in Pakistan?
Nobody knows till the time it is not probed. We do not, nobody knows till the time it is not probed. So the idea is let this entire incident be probed.
You think there's there's a Pakistani hand behind this, a Pakistani plot or no?
There could be, yes, there could be. There could be a Pakistani hand. There could be somebody from any form of a non-state actor, but that must be identified before you put the entire blame upon Wikipedia.
Okay, I want to take a quick response from Sanju Verma, but before that, Sanju Verma, we have Anshul Saxena. He's a cyber security expert and also a political analyst. Anshul Saxena ji, सब कोई कह रहा है कि आईपी एड्रेस जो है वो पाकिस्तान में ट्रेस किए गए हैं, ये ट्रोल आर्मी जो है पाकिस्तान अनलीश करता है हर बार. लोकेश जिंदल कह रहे हैं जांच होनी चाहिए. हो सकता है कि भारत में बैठा कोई व्यक्ति टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल कर ऐसा कर रहा है कि इसका आईपी एड्रेस दिखा रहा है पाकिस्तान में. हो सकता है वो शख्स यहीं बैठा हो.
एक्चुअली क्या होता है, कुछ लोग ज्ञान जरूर दे देते हैं हर चीज पर, पब्लिक को नॉलेज नहीं होती है कुछ चीजों की. पहली बात तो ये कि विकिपीडिया पे जो आईपी एड्रेस ट्रेस किए गए हैं वो पाकिस्तान के हैं, वो ओपन सोर्स टूल से ही ट्रेस किए गए हैं. ऐसा नहीं कि खुद से बोल दिया कि पाकिस्तानी है. उन सभी आईपी एड्रेस को ट्रेस किया गया है और वो सारे आईपी एड्रेस पाकिस्तान के हैं. पहली चीज ये. दूसरी चीज ये कि जो भी इसमें जो जिस मोबाइल नेटवर्क का यूज किया गया है वो उस मोबाइल नेटवर्क का नाम यूफोन है. टेली कम्युनिकेशन कंपनी है पाकिस्तान की जिसका नेटवर्क यूज किया गया. उसकी डिटेल्स भी हैं, वो लीक हो चुकी हैं. और ये सब कुछ कोई भी पर्सन जिसको थोड़ी बहुत नॉलेज होगी वो ओपन सोर्स टूल से खुद से ही चीज इन्वेस्टिगेट कर सकता है. इट इज वेरी क्लीन एंड क्लियर. हर चीज बहुत क्लियर है इसमें. तीसरी बात ये, कुछ लोग ये भी कहेंगे कि भाई देखिए इसमें वर्चुअल प्राइवेट नेटवर्क या VPN का यूज करके विकिपीडिया को एडिट किया गया हो. वो पॉसिबल नहीं है क्योंकि जो आईपी एड्रेस ट्रेस किए गए हैं उसके जो बाकी डिटेल्स आएंगे उसके अलावा उसमें कहीं भी ऐसा नहीं दिख रहा कि VPN का यूज हुआ है. पहली चीज तो ये. और दूसरी बात ये, विकिपीडिया खुद अलाउ नहीं करता है कि कोई भी पर्सन VPN से उनका एडिटर एक्सेस करे.
ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात आप कह रहे हैं और काफी क्लैरिफिकेशन आप प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं. लोकेश जिंदल यू गॉट योर आंसर. अंशुल जी मैं आपके पास लौटूंगी. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा लौटूंगी मैं आपके पास. संजू वर्मा से रिस्पांस लेना बहुत जरूरी है. संजू वर्मा, लोकेश जिंदल इज सेइंग व्हाट आर यू ट्राइंग टू डू बाय समनिंग दीस रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स ऑफ विकिपीडिया? इंटरपोल को इन्वॉल्व कीजिए, आप प्रोब कीजिए.
You know, first and foremost, I think it is excellent that we have enlightened and aware citizens like Anshul Saxena who have called out the bluff of a whole brigade of propagandists. You know, I don't want to dignify Lokesh Jindal's comments because they lack reason, as they usually do more often than not. I quickly have a couple of very pertinent points to make. I am glad that the IT Ministry under Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav and Mr. Anurag Thakur, who heads the INB Ministry, both are seized of the gravity of the situation. Both are seized of the fact that Arshdeep Singh was deliberately put in a position where he was vilified. An attempt was made to use the hashtag Khalistani for nefarious purposes by a vested section, and we all know that that vested section has its empathizers, its sympathizers, its perpetrators, and its enablers sitting in Rawalpindi. As you pointed out at the start of the debate, more than 50% of the handles who were using the hashtag Khalistani to deliberately put to shame Arshdeep after he dropped the catch belong to either Pakistan or the United States of America, and only 28% handles were actually of Indian origin. So I think statistics clearly lays bare the fact that who was behind this mischief. And Swati, tell me one thing. Why should the government not take action? We saw something similar happening in October 2021 when India lost to Pakistan in the T20. And Mohammad Shami had come under fire for all the wrong reasons. We have seen this happen. I'm not a great Shah Rukh Khan fan. I'm not a Sara Ali Khan fan. But the fact is, when Shah Rukh Khan celebrates Ganesh Chaturthi, or when Sara Ali Khan visited a temple prior to the release of her movie Kedarnath, or even when Mohammad Shami decided to post some innocuous, harmless pics of having celebrated the birthday of his kid on Twitter, he was brutally trolled.
Absolutely.
The point I'm trying to make is that freedom of speech is no one's preserved.
Right. You know, and I think another point that you've made is that every such instance is capitalized. Even like I said, dropping off a catch is being capitalized by the desperate neighbors to sow seeds of hatred. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, do you see some sort of a hesitancy in people, calling out Pakistan's bluff? Because yes, it's a great gesture shown by the entire nation, whether it's celebrities, cricketers, former cricketers, or even netas saying we stand by Arshdeep. But some sort of a hesitancy in calling out the Pak role?
Good evening, Swati. Look, Pakistan has been trying hard for 75 years to defeat us on land, in air, underwater, and having failed miserably, is now indulging in cyber warfare, thinking it can beat us in that department too. Know this, that you can assemble a whole army of famished bots and make them march towards us, but they will meet the same fate as your real army did time and again once we expose it for its ineptitude. 3. Moreover, we are getting bored of your silly tricks of dividing us along religious lines every time one of our cricketers unluckily fluffs up like you tried to do with Shami a few months ago and failed spectacularly, even though a few cricketers got fooled and started virtue signaling. 4. Keeping this in mind, what has happened in Arshdeep's case since last night is but a glimpse of the extent to which the state of Pakistan will go to avenge its military defeats at our hands. 5. Besides, it doesn't augur well for a nation on the brink of total economic collapse and battling the worst floods in its history to be occupying itself with dividing us along religious lines. Sudhar jao. 3 बार घर में घुस के मारा है, 4थी बार आ गए तो पीओके लेके वापस आएंगे.
Mr. Srivastav, does Pak get this sort of confidence and opportunity because there are some here who provide that handle this time around as well? You know, several individuals were fooled by what was happening online, by what happened on the Wikipedia page and the kind of disinformation campaign that was running on the social media. Why shouldn't the government of India summon these representatives, because these platforms are being used?
First of all, the government of India should improve its own image, its way of working, be very clear about the ideology of the RSS and the BJP, which are governing the government from backstage. Dr. Anand Ranganathan gave a very beautiful speech about Pakistan and what a great enemy it is. And, you know, for all problems of India, Pakistan is responsible. I don't agree with him. We had the farmers' irritation over here. And we had the BJP ministers sitting in the government saying that it's a Khalistani movement.
The Pakistani
Did I say that, Vivek?
So it is very easy to blame Pakistan.
No, he was specifically talking about this particular case and what happened with Mohammad Shami.
So let me speak.
Vivek ji, he was talking about this particular case and what happened with Mohammad Shami.
Let me please complete.
Swati, please,
why is it?
If I may.
Why is it?
No, Vivek,
No, let me speak. Let me complete. I'm not completed. Yeah.
No, you took my name, na? You took my name. So I'm just saying, let me clarify. I don't know whether you are aware of what
आप
happened.
पाकिस्तान पे पूरे हिंदुस्तान की समस्या पाकिस्तान है. नहीं, पूरे हिंदुस्तान की समस्या पाकिस्तान है.
Now, 1 second.
जब वो किसानों को आप खालिस्तानी बोल रही थी सरकार, वो समस्या
पहली
किसकी
बात
थी?
ये कहा नहीं गया, ये कहा नहीं गया. दूसरी बात, let him quickly give you a counter so I can take your counter and move to other guests also. Anand Rangnath.
Thank you. Vivek, please. Pakistan, please realize.
One last question before you speak. One last
Vivek,
question.
please. You allowed me, and now you're taking my time. This is not fair, my friend.
Sir, does the RSS? Does the
RSS?
I'm asking you one small question. 30 seconds, then you speak.
Vivek,
my
please
question
understand
is:
this.
does the RSS recognize Sikhism as a separate religion?
विवेक श्रीवास्तव जी, RSS और बीजेपी कहाँ से आ गया? RSS और बीजेपी कहाँ से आ गया? But let Dr. Rangnath respond and come back to you.
इसलिए
एक second. Now, since you've asked a question, in fact many questions, let him respond. I'll come back to you.
Yes, Vivek. All I'm trying to say is that Pakistan for us is as insignificant as the communists are. I'll finish there.
Okay. Continue. Mr. Srivastava.
Okay, now let me just speak on this. Give me just 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds. You see this whole philosophy of Hindutva, of a monolithic culture. It is isolating the minorities, including Sikhism, from us, and it is percolating through the national media and the social media into the masses.
Islam
and we
is
are all
monotheism.
becoming separate entities. ये मुसलमान है, ये सिख है, ये
Vivek
हिंदू है.
Srivastava.
No, sir.
Vivek Srivastava, you're not slamming the country that is utilizing every single opportunity to sow seeds of hatred in India, that wants to see communal clashes, that wants to see a disturbed communal peace and harmony and law and order situation in the country. You're not slamming that country. You're bringing everyone else, talking about everything else but Pakistan.
I think the party which is in power has got the same agenda to create differences, to polarize votes,
the BJP
to have a
Twitter
Hindu versus a
handles
Muslim.
Did the BJP Twitter handles troll Arshdeep?
अरे भैया, मथुरा में पाकिस्तान क्रिएट कर रहा है प्रॉब्लम. हरिद्वार के नारे पाकिस्तान
विवेक श्रीवास्तव जी,
और आपके जनता
विवेक श्रीवास्तव जी, you are accusing Dr. Aanand Ranganathan of for blaming Pakistan for India's problems, but you yourself are, apart from that one issue, talking about everything else in the country. BJP और RSS के handles ने किया troll Arshdeep को? Is that what you're saying?
बीजेपी और आरएसएस की ट्रेनिंग सिखाती है, और आरएसएस
तो ये तो मतलब इतना इन्फ्लुएंस हो गया है बीजेपी और आरएसएस की ट्रेनिंग का कि पाकिस्तान के लोग भी इन्फ्लुएंस हो गए.
डिफरेंट रिलीजन.
अच्छा, तो यहाँ से ट्रेनिंग कैंप्स जो है पाकिस्तान में सेटअप कर दिए बीजेपी आरएसएस ने, वो ट्रेन कर रहे हैं. संजू वर्मा, यू शुड कम इन नाउ. यस संजू वर्मा,
प्लीज. की वजह से तो जीत रहे हैं.
आइए संजू वर्मा, प्लीज.
You know, Mr. Srivastava, I did not interrupt you. Thank you. You know, I will quickly just read out 3 tweets. Yeah. I am appalled, but I'm not surprised at the rabid hypocrisy of some of the panelists. First and foremost, I'm very proud that, my BJP colleague Manjinder Singh Sirsa has categorically said, I have filed a police complaint against the handle Zubair as he was a part of Pak's conspiracy to defame Sikhs and fuel a hate campaign against Sikhs in India. His screenshots are used by Pak handles. I have demanded an inquiry into who supported Zubair in creating this Khalistani agenda. तो पहली बात तो ये, बीजेपी के ही एक नेता मनजिंदर सिंह सिरसा ने, जो पाकिस्तानी हैंडल्स को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पर बैठकर जुबैर उनके खिलाफ और शुरू से उसके खिलाफ पुलिस कार्रवाई करने की ठान ली है. Will you applaud that, Mr. Srivastava? Without any ifs or buts whatsoever, will you call out the hypocrisy of this handle Zubair, who calls himself as a fact checker?
Will Mr. Sirsa clarify? Will Mr. Sirsa clarify that according to RSS ideology, Sikhism is a panth or Sikhism is a dharma? Will Mr. Sirsa clarify this?
You asked him a question.
Or he'll be out of the party.
You asked him a question. You allowed him to counter you.
No, let me finish in 30 seconds,
okay.
Please. I won't take
okay, 30 seconds.
Now I will tell you why I want to call out the bluff of Aam Aadmi Party. I have nothing against Harbhajan Singh. I don't know him from Adams. But look at the manner in which he has tweeted. He says that, he's appalled at the manner in which Arshdeep Singh is being brought down. He has not named Pakistan. He has not named Pakistani handles. So Mr. Harbhajan Singh, who are you blaming when you say that you are appalled at some of these elements who are trying to destroy the secular fabric of India, who are trying to demonize the sporting fraternity of India? पाकिस्तान का नाम लेने में हरभजन सिंह जी आपको इतनी हिचकिचाहट, इतना संकोच क्यों हो रहा है? And look at Raghav Chadda's tweet. Raghav Chadda says the kind of hate 23-year-old Arshdeep is being subjected to is appalling. Let us cut that young man some slack. Arshdeep is an amazing talent and will lead the Indian bowling attack in the coming years. No hate can pull him down. I stand with Arshdeep. Everything about this tweet is fine. Apart from the fact, did you see Raghav Chadda calling out the bluff of Zubair? Calling out the bluff of
Okay, you know, I think it's a, like I said initially, it's a great gesture, the kind of support that is pouring in for Arshdeep from Indians, irrespective of which party they belong to, irrespective of whether they are cricketers, they are celebrities. I think we should salute that gesture, one. But Tausif Ahmed, questions are being asked on the hesitancy, like I pointed out earlier as well. Why are people hesitant in calling out Pakistan?
Swati, it is a very simple case. The seeds of hatred that was planted by BJP during the farmers' protest is now growing and has shown its leaves and branches yesterday after Arshdeep had some bad luck. You see, I was watching the match. Even the Pakistani fielder dropped so many catches. But when our fielder dropped one catch, and I saw how people started pouncing on him. This word Khalistani was popularized by BJP so shamelessly during the farmers' protest. The council representing the union of BJP governments in the Supreme Court said that Khalistanis has infiltrated the farmers' protest. And as a result of that, we saw this trolling happened. Now, in order to save the face, because the current BJP regime
in that case,
is to be blamed for
are you saying there was no involvement? Are you saying there was no involvement of terror organizations sitting abroad? Terror organizations sitting abroad,
Swati,
working on a toolkit, provoking people. Announcing,
let's keep this very simple. Come on, Swati.
Announcing rewards.
Pakistan is facing a humanitarian crisis. Has to fight the floods, the flood situation in the country. I am not going into all that. I am saying that the seed of hatred was planted by BJP, and I am giving you the evidence that they try to belittle the farmer protest by calling it a Khalistani infiltrating the farmer.
Tausif Ahmed, again I'm asking the same question. Are you saying that there was no toolkit that was operating? Are you saying there were no organizations sitting abroad trying to provoke sentiments here? Are you on record on an individual basis saying that was all made up? Okay, Tausif Ahmed, you're not answering my question. You're not answering my question, Lokesh Jindal, Anshul Saxena and Sanju Verma, all three of them want to come in. I'll begin with Lokesh Jindal. Go ahead.
Swati, people understand.
Yes, first of all, thank you, Swati. First of all, I would like to correct my colleague Anshul Saxena. He stated that you cannot edit Wikipedia page using VPN, which is wrong. There are various platforms available, NordVPN as well as other VPNs, which allow you to edit the page in Wikipedia. However, the point is Wikipedia can flag your content. So the point is there are platforms available. So whether somebody is trying to bring about some form of an unrest, it must be probed into whether it is from home or abroad. Secondly, when I'm talking about this entire incident, it must be viewed into a larger picture altogether. Now, when on 1st of June 2022, the Ministry of Information Technology came up with amendments to IT Rule 2021. And later it brought about stringent restrictions upon the use of IT on 6th of June 2022. We should be very careful that the government should not use these forms of instances as a ground to curb the freedom of speech and expression of an individual or to bring about any form of restrictions.
Okay, so you're saying freedom of speech is being curbed by the government by summoning the representatives of Wikipedia. Okay.
Absolutely.
Anshul wants to come and Sanju will counter that point. Anshul, please go ahead. Boliye.
या जी, लोकेश जी ने बिल्कुल सही कहा है कि जब VPN आप यूज करते हैं विकिपीडिया के लिए तो अकाउंट को फ्लैग कर दिया जाता है, अकाउंट को फ्लैग करना और अकाउंट को ब्लॉक करने में मैं डिफरेंस बता देता हूं। क्या होता है जैसे कि आप वीपीएन के थ्रू विकिपीडिया पे एक्सेस कर रहे हैं, विकिपीडिया पे आप एडिट कर रहे हैं, तो क्या होता है कि ये आपके सामने विकिपीडिया की खुद की गाइडलाइंस हैं जहां पर साफ तौर पर रखा है कि आपकी जो एडिटिंग आईडी है वो ब्लॉक कर दी जाएगी अगर आपने वीपीएन यूज किया। कंटेंट को फ्लैग कर दिया जाता है, जो आपने एडिट किया उसको फ्लैग कर दिया जाता है और आपकी आईडी ब्लॉक हो जाती है एडिटर की। दूसरी बात, जो आईपी एड्रेस मैंने मेंशन किया है ट्विटर अकाउंट पे, जो मीडिया भी दिखा रहा है, वो आईपी एड्रेस पीटीसीएल का है, वीपीएन का नहीं है। तीसरी बात, उस आईपी एड्रेस में सब इंफॉर्मेशन पब्लिक डोमेन पे है कि कौन सा टेली कम्युनिकेशन हो रहा है। चौथी बात, पाकिस्तान पर कितने के सर्वर से वीपीएन का इस्तेमाल हो सकता है, आप बताइए मुझे, है ही नहीं इतने ज्यादा। पांचवी बात,
the fact that has been stated by is not established by government agency.
Please let me complete. Please let me complete.
Humility I am asking. I'm just
लोकेश जी, प्लीज पहले मैं कंप्लीट फिर पूछूंगा। देखिए, मैं वो चीज बता रहा हूँ सर, जो मैं सरकार की तरफ से बात तो कर नहीं रहा हूँ, मैं वो चीज बता रहा हूँ जो ऑलरेडी ओपन सोर्स टूल्स में और ऑलरेडी सब चीजें सामने हैं। जो आईपी एड्रेस है उसको मैं ट्रेस किया, तो उसमें जो भी डिटेल्स निकली हैं उसमें पता चल रहा है कि वो आईपी एड्रेस टीपीसीएल का है। वो आईपी एड्रेस जो है वो किस आईएसपी नेटवर्क कौन सा है, वो आईपी एड्रेस जो है वो कौन से सिम कार्ड से यूज हुआ है, यूफोन से।
तो आप कुल मिला के कह रहे हैं कि भारत में बैठा हुआ व्यक्ति वीपीएन का इस्तेमाल करके ऐसा नहीं कर सकता?
मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं कि कोई पर्सन वीपीएन का इस्तेमाल करके वहां पे इसलिए नहीं कर सकता कि जो आईपी डिटेल्स निकली हैं उसमें वीपीएन का इस्तेमाल हुआ ही नहीं है।
ठीक है, तो आप कह रहे हैं कि जो आईपी एड्रेस पाकिस्तान ट्रेंड हुई है, जो ट्रोल आर्मी फेक अकाउंट्स आए वो सही है, पाकिस्तानी अकाउंट।
हाँ, पाकिस्तान का। दूसरी बात ये एक मिनट और मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि अगर कोई वीपीएन से वो एडिट करने की कोशिश भी करेगा तो उसकी आईडी ब्लॉक कर दी जाती है। खुद विकिपीडिया की डिटेल्स में लिखा हुआ है।
सिक्योरिटी एक्सपर्ट कह रहे हैं कि यहाँ बैठा हुआ व्यक्ति नहीं कर सकता, ये पाकिस्तान से ही हुआ है। लोकेश जिंदल, stay on with us. Sanju Verma, the allegation against BJP and is being leveled by Vivek Srivastava and Tausif Ahmed as well now, कि ये पाकिस्तान से कोई माहौल खराब करने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहा है. It's the BJP that has sown seeds of hatred in this country and this is a repercussion of that.
First and foremost, your audience needs to know that Tausif is a TMC sympathizer. And let us be very clear that this Tausif till date has not apologized for the Birbhum massacre in which a TMC leader was involved and 12 people were burnt alive. This same Tausif who sits here and gives a bhashan to the BJP and certificates to the RSS every single evening has not yet apologized for the riots in Bengal, be it the Bashirhat riots, the Bhaduria riots, be it the Jadavpur riots. So we don't need certificates from him. Coming to your moot question.
This woman is making. You have no defense.
Let me
you
finish.
spread hatred, and right now you are spreading hatred against me because you do not like me, my identity, which is different than yours. You do not like that, and that is why you hate me.
Responding to your allegation. Tausif on this panel is a political analyst, Sanju Verma. He's a political analyst, so no personal, reactions and remarks. Okay, Sanju Verma, respond.
Ask her.
She's responding to that allegation. Yeah.
Yes. You know, we don't need certificates on what the BJP. Can you ask this man to shut up? Can you ask this man to shut up, please? Why is he so rattled?
What nonsense? Nonsense, you rubbish woman.
Okay, one second. Please don't pass any personal comments on each other. That goes for both Sanju Verma and Tausif Ahmed. Sanju Verma, please limit your reaction to the questions asked by Tausif Ahmed.
Yeah. No, I'm not here to answer questions asked by Tausif. I will speak on the topic of the debate.
No, but he's leveled allegations against you. Are you not going to respond to that?
No, I will respond on the topic of the debate. First and foremost,
asking you questions as the spokesperson of the ruling party, you have to answer.
I am moderating, but questions are coming your way. Are you refusing to take the questions?
I said I will answer, but can you please ask?
Please go ahead then, Sanju Verma. Okay. Let her finish. Vivek ji, I'll come to you. Vivek ji, I'll come to you. Let her finish.
Yeah, thank you. First and foremost, this whole narrative that farmer protests were actually demonized by the BJP. Swati, let us be very honest. There were 32 farmer organizations in the Sanyukt Kisan Morcha, out of which 22 contested the Punjab elections. The likes of Balbir Singh Rajewal, who was the head of Sanyukt Kisan Morcha, clearly said the farmer protests were politically motivated. This is not Sanju Verma saying. Balbir Singh Rajewal's statement is out there in the public domain. I would request people to educate themselves, look up Balbir Singh Rajewal's statements before coming here and spewing venom against the BJP.
Who popularized the term Khalistani?
Since when did this term exist?
Our question is simple. Who used the word Khalistani?
So it's time to revisit. So it's time to revisit the past. It's time to revisit the past. Let's bring in Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Where did this term come from? Is it the BJP that is responsible for, like Tausif Ahmed is alleging, popularizing the term Khalistani? And what happened with Arshdeep? Is that really a backlash of that?
They said it.
Thank you very much.
Before the Supreme
Tausif bhai, please, I did not interrupt you. Thank you.
Before the Supreme Court as well. Farmer
Swati,
protest
can I?
Tausif ji, सुनिए उनको अपनी बात रखने दीजिए. Please let him finish his point and then you can counter.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been listening very patiently. मैं 1 minute से ज़्यादा नहीं लूँगा. 2 points. And number 1, can I please say I'm very disappointed with Tausif bhai for him saying that his identity is different. Okay, he may be a Muslim, I am an atheist, Vivek may be a communist, but we are all Indian.
Not disappointed. Yes, you will be disappointed.
Tausif ji.
You will be disappointed.
Indian.
I am here to disappoint you.
Okay.
You support
We are all
BJP.
Indian.
I am
What is
here
your
to
identity?
disappoint you.
What is your identity?
I am here to disappoint BJP
Are you not
representative. You are
not
BJP
Indian?
representative. I am here to
Are
disappoint
you not Indian?
Don't expect
Jawab
me to please you. You can
Are you
expect
Indian
anybody
first or
else.
Muslim
You can
first?
expect anybody else to please you. As a BJP,
Swati, are you going to conduct this debate like this?
I will
Tausif ji,
disappoint you.
what is
I
going
will
on here?
disappoint
Tausif
you
ji.
every second.
Is he even listening to what I'm saying?
Let him finish and then
This
you
is the
can
way
counter.
debate is to be
Talk
conducted.
about Khalistani.
Then I might
Let him finish,
be
Tausif ji. Let him finish and then you can counter, please.
खालिस्तानी
Okay, Tausif ji, आपने कई सवाल पूछे, allegations लगाए. अब दूसरों का व्यू पॉइंट सुन लीजिए, please. That's how the debate will move forward. Please. Go ahead.
Please stop him from throwing stones metaphorically. Now, as I was saying, all of us are Indians here. No one is Muslim or atheist or communist or Hindu. So, Tausif should understand that first by saying, before saying my identity is different. No, your identity is Indian. Number 2, हम पाकिस्तान को इतना क्यों बचाने में लगे हुए हैं? लोकेश को डायरेक्टली बताया अंशुल ने कि भाई विकिपीडिया का जिसने चेंज किया उसका आईपी एड्रेस पाकिस्तानी है, वीपीएन नहीं है. Number 3, it is a fact, Swati, that there were a lot of Khalistani elements in the farmers' protest.
विवेक जी, आप शुरू मत हो जाइए. सुनिए तो पहले. Let him finish.
I can't debate like
Let him finish first. विवेक जी, I'll come to you. खत्म तो करने दीजिए बात.
This is what Rahul Dravid said. Good guys finish last. मैं किसी को इंटरप्ट नहीं करता, सब मुझे इंटरप्ट करते हैं. मैंने किसी को इंटरप्ट नहीं किया. मैं 3 चीजें बोल रहा हूं. So as I was saying, Swati, it is beyond dispute. Beyond dispute, and your channel has shown it more than anybody else, that there were a hell of a lot of Khalistani elements in the farmers' protests, all through. How can anyone deny this? There is visual proof of that. On tractors, you had Bindrawale, you had flags, you had everything. Even those people who were hoisting the flags, removing the tricolor, they were all Khalistani elements. Why should somebody deny it? For someone to say that BJP has popularized Khalistani elements, it is the biggest balderdash I have heard. Khalistani elements was there from the 80s. Does this guy not know his history? And finally, I am very disappointed with my good friend Lokesh trying to save Pakistan. You should know that during the time of Shami's this thing also, Pakistanis were intent upon dividing us. ये सारा पाकिस्तान का क्या खेला है? Did you not know about that 1,000 cuts doctrine, Lokesh? I am disappointed in you. They want to get at us by hook or by crook. So please do not support Pakistan on this at least by saying that it is not clear who is disfiguring or vandalizing the Wikipedia of Arshdeep. Please don't do that.
Anand, I never consider Pakistan as our opponent because it does not stand a chance in front of India. I mean, I won't ever want to compare India with that of a failed state. I mean, a state that has failed on all fronts. So it's not about Pakistan at all.
It is about Pakistan. It's a great thought. We don't want to compare India and Pakistan, but sir, the facts are in front of you. How can you ignore the facts?
No, madam, what I'm trying to say over here is this unfortunate incident should not be used as a ground to curb the free speech and expression that the government has been trying to do since June 2022. Please get to know that
Congress is talking about
Wikipedia responsible is something that I protest against.
Lokesh Jindal, you don't see this. You don't see this as speech. No, one second. Lokesh Jindal, you don't see this as an evil design. You don't see this as a propaganda. You don't see this as a Pakistani plot. All you can see is that the government is trying to muzzle free speech.
Is not the solution to this.
Then what is the solution? To stay mum, to stay silent, to keep saying that it is the government that is curbing free speech and not talk about the facts that are in front of us? Vivek Srivastava?
Swati, may I come in?
Yeah, see, now listen to me. I'll speak it out. Nobody is protecting Pakistan or siding with Pakistan. We are all Indians. And I welcome the statement by Dr. Anand Ranganathan that we are all Indians, whether communist or Muslim or Hindu. I welcome the statement. Vivek, but I do not agree that we are trying to side with Pakistan. We have to understand. No, let me speak now. Yes, I agree. I welcome your statement and I endorse it. What is right is right. But however, you have to also understand that Punjab has been normal for decades now. People are joining the army there. People are into farming. People are into business. And the Sikh community is a part of this nation and contributing for so many decades. So where is Khalistan? But when an economic problem of the farmers started, when they started protesting against the government, for which the Honorable Prime Minister also apologized later on. What was Satpal Malik saying? He is a part of the BJP. He said it is the Sikhs. And do not try to use words like Khalistan.
No, nobody is blaming Punjab and the people of Punjab or the religion itself or individuals following the religion. No, Vivek Srivastava, when you say, Vivek Srivastava, nobody here is maligning Punjab or the people of Punjab.
The agitating farmers.
But there are elements everywhere. How do you explain the cropping up of Bhindrawale posters every now and then? How do you explain that? If there are elements, what is wrong in calling out the elements?
For 700 farmers to die. I do not know how many elements and what the elements.
You cannot allow this man Vivek to hijack the debate.
No, 1 second, he's responding. Please, he hasn't spoken for a long time. I've given you a lot of opportunities. Let him finish his point. So the point here is, Vivek Srivastava, once again, don't divert the debate. Don't derail the debate. Nobody is questioning the people of Punjab. Nobody is questioning the religion itself or individuals who practice that religion.
Made it Sikh versus Hindu.
Who made it Sikh versus Hindu?
The BJP, RSS made it Sikh versus Hindu.
Are you saying that it was a Sikh? No, are you saying that it was a protest by...
Even Varun Gandhi said.
Vivek Srivastava. Are you saying it was a protest? Are you saying it was a protest against the farm laws by Sikh farmers? No, you yourself are calling it a farmers' protest, right? If there were elements that were trying to provoke sentiments, if there were elements that were trying to hijack the entire protest and malign those who were part of the protest, what is wrong in calling out those elements?
Peaceful, non-violent, 700-800 farmers died before the Honorable Prime Minister of India woke up and apologized.
Vivek Srivastava, again, you keep on taking it back to the farmers' protest. The debate, the topic is not the farmers' protest.
Because the people of this country were told that Sikhs are Khalistanis by the designs of this government.
Nobody said all the farmers are Khalistanis. Vivek Srivastava, nobody said all the farmers are Khalistanis. Okay, Sanju Verma, respond.
Swati, thank you. Swati, let me tell you very categorically that not all farmers are Khalistanis, point number 1. But should we call Khalistanis as Khalistanis? Yes. Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, the founder of Sikhs for Justice, is he a Khalistani? Yes. Has he been designated a terrorist under UAPA in 2020 by the Modi government? Yes.
How many Khalistani farmers did you arrest?
Pannu is
Give me the number.
Khalistani. Period.
How many Khalistani farmers were arrested? Tell me that. And how many were you able to prove? Not a single. Because it was just a propaganda. Just to malign the Sikh community.
Are you supporting Sikhs for Justice? Which is
I support the Constitution of India, which is secular, which says a Hindu and Sikh are equal. A Hindu and a Muslim are also equal.
गुरपतवंत सिंह पन्नू के बारे में क्या ख्याल है आपका? टेररिस्ट है या नहीं? गुरपतवंत सिंह
भैया इतने बड़े एजुकेशन में मुझे बताइए कितने सिख खालिस्तानी मिले आपको? कितनों को अरेस्ट किया?
गुरपतवंत सिंह पन्नू वहां पर बैठ करके यहाँ पर लोगों को भड़काने की कोशिश कर रहा था और उसके रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स भी कहीं यहाँ घूम रहे थे। विवेक श्रीवास्तव जी, आप आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं कि उनमें से कौन खालिस्तानी था और कौन खालिस्तानी नहीं था? If there was a threat, if there were elements trying to hijack the entire protest, what is wrong in calling them out is my question. Why are you derailing it? Farm laws, the Prime Minister's address, Vivek Srivastava, 1 second, was on the farm laws. Don't give it a spin. His response, his reaction was on the farm laws.
Elements. Stop twisting the Prime Minister's speech to your own convenience.
He addressed the entire farmer community. His response was strictly limited to the farm laws.
खालिस्तानी झंडे फार्म प्रोटेस्ट में थे या नहीं थे? खालिस्तानी झंडे रेड फोर्ट पे लहराए गए या नहीं लहराए गए? भिंडरा वाले के स्लोगन लहराए गए, चलाए गए या नहीं चलाए गए? यहाँ बैठकर भाषण मत दो। गुरपतवंत सिंह पन्नू खालिस्तानी है या नहीं? खालिस्तानी है। बलबीर सिंह राजेवाल ने फार्म प्रोटेस्ट को politicize किया या नहीं?
And you know, 1 second, Vivek Srivastava, I think you know this very well, and you should know, every person should know that these organizations are also backed by Pakistan. These organizations are also backed by Pakistan. It's not just the cyber warfare, but Pakistan is looking at every single opportunity that can stir the situation and the communal flame here in India. Anshul wants to come in. Anshul, quickly if you can. Anshul, बहुत जल्दी से अपनी बात कीजिएगा, मेरे पास समय कम है।
मैं बस ये कहना चाहता हूं कि इस तरह की इंफॉर्मेशन वारफेयर होती रहती है। जब जनरल बिपिन रावत जी का चॉपर क्रैश हुआ तब भी इस तरह की इंफॉर्मेशन वारफेयर हुई थी। आर्टिकल 370 का जब एब्रोगेशन हुआ तब भी ऐसी इंफॉर्मेशन वारफेयर हुई थी। और हम मोहम्मद शमी के केस में भी देखा हमने और अर्शदीप सिंह के केस में भी देखा। प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि आप लोग लड़ते रहोगे बीजेपी कांग्रेस इन सब चीजों में, और जो पाकिस्तान है अपना काम करता रहेगा, और विवेक श्रीवास्तव जैसे लोग जो है अपना प्रबंधन चलाते रहेंगे। लेकिन जो असली प्रॉब्लम है उसके बारे में कोई बात नहीं करेगा। किसी ने ये पाकिस्तान जो कर रहा है उन्हें पता है कि ऐसे लोग बैठे हुए, विवेक श्रीवास्तव जैसे लोग जो डाइवर्ट करने के लिए बैठे हुए इश्यूज को, और वो अपना इंफॉर्मेशन वारफेयर सोशल मीडिया में चलाते रहेंगे और आप लोग लड़ते रहेंगे।
विवेक श्रीवास्तव जी बताइए, हम आपस में क्यों लड़ रहे हैं?
% इंडिया से ट्रोलिंग करी,
आपको क्या पता है? इंडिया उसमें सबसे टॉप रैंक इंडिया है, टॉप रैंक इंडिया है। ट्रेंड लिस्ट चेक कीजिए, कभी हमने ओपन सोर्स टूल का इस्तेमाल किया है? अगर आप ट्रेंड लिस्ट यूज करेंगे तो आपको पता चलेगा कि नंबर 1 पर रैंक पे पाकिस्तान आया हुआ है। भाई पाकिस्तान
You're letting Pakistan off the hook so easily, विवेक श्रीवास्तव। अर्शदीप के मामले को आपने फार्मर्स प्रोटेस्ट से जोड़ दिया, अर्शदीप के मामले में आप बीजेपी आरएसएस की आइडियोलॉजी पर चले गए, सब कुछ आपने कर दिया, बट यू डिड नॉट मेंशन पाकिस्तान. Again, you are letting them off the hook by saying the government is the one sowing seeds of hatred.
अगर आपने गूगल ट्रेंड्स बिल्कुल भी यूज किए होते तो आपको पता होता कि गूगल ट्रेंड्स की लिस्ट में पता चल रहा है कि लास्ट 24 आवर्स में सबसे ज्यादा अगर खालिस्तानी ट्वीट्स हुए हैं तो पाकिस्तान से हुए हैं पहले नंबर पे।
दिखाए भी हमने वो आंकड़े, अंशुल हमने वो आंकड़े वो स्टैटिस्टिक्स दिखाए भी।
जी,
डॉक्टर रंगनाथन wants to come in, then Dosi Ahmed before we wrap up this debate. Yes.
No, yes, I just want to say that I'm very disappointed in my good friend comrade Vivek. Because to support Pakistan on something that is logical or rational is one thing. For example, my heart also bleeds for it. It is facing its worst flood in its history, economic collapse and everything. So of course, there are people, there are humans there. But for something that it has done blatantly wrong, I expect Vivek to stand with India. Come on, what's going on here, Vivek?
No,
Dosi Ahmed, I have to wrap up, so quickly last word to you.
But what about the Indians who are...
Swati, it's a very simple case. Yesterday, Pakistan won the match because they played better cricket than us. Very simple. As a sports lover, anyone would agree to this. But because our society has been filled with hatred, BJP wants us to believe that Pakistan won the match because they hate Indians. Pakistan won the match yesterday because they want to take revenge. All this is nonsense.
I don't have time, but you're forcing me to again ask you the same question. BJP accounts are, running this disinformation campaign. BJP accounts are doing this. BJP accounts are putting out information, pitting Indians against Indians. Is this all the doing of the BJP and the RSS, and the IP address being traced to Pakistan has nothing to do with it? It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that every time the role of Pakistan comes up, political parties start fighting amongst each other instead of identifying the real culprit and coming together and working against the culprit. In this case, it is our neighboring country. Thank you very much, Sanju Verma and gentlemen, for joining us. Dr. Anand Ranganathan and Tausif Ahmed, in fact, will continue with us for debate number 2 as well. So moving on now to debate number 2, a simple Onam celebration at a government school in Kerala's Malappuram has drawn the ire of Muslim bodies. This after girl students were seen dancing in hijab as part of the celebrations. Nearly 600 students of the Vandoor Government High Secondary School danced to the tunes of latest Malayalam hit songs at the event held in the school on Saturday. Many of the students in the video are seen wearing hijab. A senior member of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board, Asma Zehra, however, censured the students, accusing them of having misrepresented and misused hijab. She said that dancing in hijab defeats the very purpose of the Islamic clothing. Listen.
कि अगर उन 600 लड़कियों ने अपनी इच्छा और अपनी मर्जी से डांस किया तो ये उनका पर्सनल मामला है, लेकिन अगर स्कूल ने उनको ये करने पर मजबूर किया तो ये बिल्कुल अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बात है, गैर कानूनी बात है। वैसे जहाँ तक शरीयत के लॉज की बात की जाए तो हिजाब की बहुत ज़्यादा रिस्पेक्ट है और हिजाब पहनकर गैर मर्दों के सामने डांस करने की बिल्कुल भी परमिशन नहीं है, जहाँ तक शरीयत की बात की जाए।
Now, these girl students appeared thrilled, excited to be able to celebrate a festival in school after a gap of 2 years due to COVID pandemic. They danced out of their own will without anyone forcing them to do so. Listen.
ഞങ്ങൾ 2 വർഷത്തിന് ഓണത്തിന് ശേഷം ഈ ഒരു വർഷമാണ് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഓണം അടിച്ചു പൊളിക്കാനായിട്ട് കിട്ടിയത്. സാർമാരുടെ അത്രയും സപ്പോർട്ടായിട്ടാണ് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് നിൽക്കുന്നത്. ഇത്രയും ഞങ്ങൾ പ്രതീക്ഷിച്ചിട്ടേ ഇല്ല. ഞങ്ങൾ 2 വർഷത്തിന് ശേഷം കൊറോണ കുറേ വർഷം പോയി. ഇക്കുറിയാണ് ഞങ്ങൾക്കൊന്ന് ആഘോഷിക്കാൻ കിട്ടിയത്. അതിൽ തന്നെ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് വലിയ സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. പേര് അമീറ.
Well, you heard the girl students. It's also very important to highlight that several political leaders in the past have backed hijab as fundamental right of choice. Owaisi called hijab ban an assault on the right to wear what one wants to wear. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra said a woman has the right to wear what she wants to wear. But now when these Muslim girls are being censured for dancing out of their choice, why is this rights brigade silent today? Instead of speaking up on this trampling of choice, the opposition leaders saw saffron ploy in the controversy once again.
देखिए, ओनाम फेस्टिवल में ये हर रिलीजियन का पार्टिसिपेशन रहता है। ये उनका एक ट्रेडिशनल, एक कल्चरल चीज़ है। इसमें पॉलिटिकली क्यों कमेंट कर रहा है, आई डोंट नो। ये तो सारा जिंदगी चलते आ रहा है, आज से नहीं, सदियों से चलते आ रहा है। ये पहली बार कोई किसी ने इसको हिजाब का साथ जुड़ा, ये जुड़ा सोशली, कल्चरली, खाना पीना, कपड़ा पहनना, ये लेके हिंदुस्तान में कितना दिन डिबेट होते रहेगा। ये सब बीजेपी का एजेंडा है, आरएसएस का एजेंडा है, डिविजन का पॉलिटिक्स करने के लिए ये सब कर रहा है।
देखिए, सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि पूरे देश में इस तरह का माहौल खड़ा करने का एक कोशिश चल रहा है और आप देख रहे होंगे कि हिजाब के मामले को जिस तरह से भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने अपने वोट बैंक के तौर पर इस्तेमाल किया, ये उसी का नतीजा है कि अब जो रिएक्शनरी फोर्स है वो कहीं ना कहीं इस मामले को बढ़ा चढ़ा करके प्रस्तुत कर रही है और इस तरह का अगर एक धर्म विशेष को बदनाम करने की नीयत से अगर कोई कार्यक्रम चलाया गया तो ये ठीक नहीं है।
Let's go across to our guests. Dr. Anand Ranganathan and Tausif Ahmed continue to be with us. We're joined by Rahul Ishwar, an activist, and we also have Advocate Tala Rashidi, spokesperson of the Rashtriya Ulema Council. Good evening to all of you. Advocate Rashidi, I want to come to you first. There seems to be a conflict and divide within the community itself. Some are saying if the girls have done this by their choice, then it's their personal issue. And then there are others who are saying hijab pehen ke aapne aisa kiya, so you've defeated the very purpose of hijab. Are these girls not allowed to express their happiness through their dance? Advocate Rashidi, can you hear me? सुन पा रहे हैं आप मुझे?
Yeah. I can hear you now. Yes.
Yes, please go ahead then.
What was your question? I didn't get it because the voice was cracking.
Advocate Rashidi, I said there is a conflict. There seems to be a difference of opinion arising from within the community itself. Some are saying if the girls were not forced, if they did it out of their own will, then it's fine. It's their personal issue. Others are saying that they're defeating the purpose of hijab.
See, Swati ji, a very good evening to everyone on the panel here and to your viewers also. First of all, you need to understand the differences in between. When you talk about a religious, if you talk about this issue on a religious point of view, there will be a different definition. But if you talk about an individual's point of view, there could be a different definition of the same. If you will ask for a religious opinion, as per the religion, even dancing is not allowed as per the religion. But if you forget about, wearing a hijab and then dancing around. But if you talk about an individual's opinion or individual's decision, I'm a Muslim. It depends upon me. I follow the religious lines or not. That's my own decision. You cannot force me to follow a certain religion, or you cannot force me to not follow a certain religion. The question when arises, if you're talking about this issue in the context of the controversy of hijab ban in certain schools of Karnataka and some other cities of the country.
There are some who tweet on that.
Now let me please complete. Give me 15 seconds. Let me complete.
Advocate Rashidi, I'm asking you only a follow-up question. मैं किसी और के पास नहीं जा रही हूँ. I'm saying, because you asked me how you look at it, I'm saying when I look at these girls, I just look at them as girls, irrespective of their religion, participating in a festival called Onam, dancing, expressing themselves. But there are those who can see religion in this as well.
I absolutely agree with you, and I'm also of the same opinion. These girls are, they're making their own decision. They're taking their own decision. They are free to do whatever they want to do, whether in hijab or without a hijab, in Western outfits or in Western outfits or without Western outfits. That's completely their own decision. But again, if there are certain, there's also this Gungat culture in Hindu mythology. There's also this, when I have read a few texts also when the Western outfits were banned in Hindu mythology according to some Hindu religious texts. I'm not going into...
One second. I am not doing that, and I expect you to also not pit a religion against a religion. I'm trying to understand the mentality and the ideology behind the statements that are being made. So Rahul Ishwar, like I said, there are some netas, when the hijab controversy, was witnessed in Karnataka and then in the entire country, some said this is an assault on their right to wear what they want to. So it was about freedom of choice. How does this become, defeating the purpose of hijab and not a freedom of choice to express yourself through a dance?
Right to them is again denial of a fundamental human expression and fundamental human right. Inshallah, our Muslim sisters are dancing so well. I'm happy for their joy. So let us see the joy in their dance and not delay them. I'm a religious conservative myself, belong to the Hindu community. But my humble request to all India Muslims also know about, who I share a good relationship with, please let us not overdo it. If you are going to overdo it, it will only trigger some kind of a backlash. Let's be realistic about these things. Yes, family values should be there, conservative values need to be there. But if you are going to overstress it, you are going to only have a big backlash from the community. And the left liberal silence is deafening. The pseudo-secular left liberal silence is deafening. Because they want to appease the hardline conservatives in the Muslim community and win the vote back. And they even want to comment on an issue where girls are out of their field dancing. So their secular, pseudo-secular liberalism is deafening. See, we can have many standpoints. I respect Aandolanjeevis. He's following the Ambedkar ji, Netaji line. I follow Gandhian line. But at the end of the day, we have some common ground so that we can accept and understand. Attacking girls who are dancing out of joy for Kerala.
Absolutely. And I appreciate the stand taken by Advocate Rashidi when he says you cannot force somebody to follow religious lines. Dr. Aandolanjeevis, your take.
No, absolutely. And I think, Swati, it is wonderful that Muslims are celebrating the Hindu festival of Onam. Just like Hindus celebrate Christmas and Eid. It shows us that howsoever much the divisive forces may try and separate the Indian followers of Islam from the cultural and civilizational ethos that has percolated to each one of us through millennia, and try and box it as being sourced from Arabia, the truth is that this is what makes us Indian and special and glorious. Look, the fundamentalists claim, and it has to be said rightly so, that a practicing Muslim who believes in the Sharia and every single word that there is in the Holy Quran is a good Muslim, while a practicing Muslim who dances, drinks, fornicates, supports Muslim women who reject the burqa or the hijab, can draw a portrait of whosoever he wishes to, is homosexual, gives equal share of inheritance to male and female, and is fine with all his fellow Muslims being all of the above, is a bad Muslim. It is also a fact that according to the fundamentalists, that is, those who follow the fundamentals, dancing before someone other than your husband is forbidden in Islam, interpreted from 1737 and 3332. Then again, India is peaceful and glorious, yet because the majority ignore these fatwas and diktats. And so we can have people like Waris Pathan of AIMIM instinctively chanting Ganpati Bappa Moria, even though later he had to apologize because the fundamentalist leader of his party, Owaisi, asked him to. If India is to remain peaceful and glorious, Swati, Muslims like Hindus and Christians and Sikhs must continue to celebrate all Indian festivals.
Tawseef Ahmed, isn't this a beautiful example? Tawseef Ahmed, isn't this a beautiful example of that Sarv Dharm Sambhav that everybody talks about in India? Do you see anything wrong in the manner in which the girls are expressing themselves?
No, the girls have all the right to join their fellow classmate in a traditional dance. If for an example I can talk about Ghumar dance in folk dance of Rajasthan. This dance is performed only in a audience of women. The men are not allowed. So similarly, if there are some people who are trying to signify that hijab is a symbol of chastity and modesty and that there is a certain importance of hijab in Shariat, they are also not wrong. I think what they could have done is that joining an Onam celebration is important, and you could have adopted, their traditional dress. Why not? There is nothing wrong in that. If it is a formal event, if the school authority or someone is forcing them, to join the dance wearing their own hijab, then that is wrong.
But none of them is
if
saying
it is from their own personal choice, that's welcome.
None of them is saying
it would have been better. That has to be that has to be verified. This has to be verified.
Rahul Ishwar.
How can you and I sitting on by just watching a visual pass a judgment?
Just one submission. People from all communities celebrate Onam in Kerala. Onam has Hindu roots. It's a celebration of Mahavishnu Avatar Vaman and the great king Mahabali. But all communities join together to celebrate the Hindu festival, as rightly pointed out by Dr. Anand Venkatarajan. And it is a common thing. We join for Christmas or Eid. This is our culture. And please remember, these Muslims are wearing their hijab because they are also not forgetting their roots. On one hand, they are following their community guidelines.
We are not judging based on the visuals that we are getting, and not judging based on what is being reported, but we are going by what these girl students have told us. And we played out a reaction. The student's name is Amira. She says, we are excited to be celebrating Onam after a gap of 2 years. Our teachers are supporting us and we are thrilled. That was her reaction. If she was forced, she would have said it on camera, that we are being forced, like how the girls protested when they were not being allowed to enter institutes wearing a hijab. None of them are protesting today. They are all participating. They are all happy. They are excited. They are thrilled, and you can see it on their faces. What is important here is to, while we maintain a stand, and our panelists have maintained a stand that it was out of their personal choice, it is good. One should appreciate it. One should also call out those who are saying this is defeating the purpose of hijab. That's all. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us.
The most pressing issues, the most informed minds, free and fair exchange. Converse India with Rahul Shivshankar.
Delhi Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena has sent a legal notice to AAP leaders for alleging corruption charges and raising defamatory slogans against the LG. AAP leaders have been asked to reply on it within the next 48 hours. The Jharkhand Assembly passed a confidence motion tabled by CM Hemant Soren amid a walkout staged by BJP leaders. As many as 48 MLAs voted in the favor of the confidence motion.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The confrontation over liquor has reached a boiling point and a point of no return between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. Till today, it was all about files and lockers and CBI raids. But now, a video sting that the BJP claims to be the death knell for Kejriwal and company is out. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the BJP has released a sting that shows the father of Sunny Marwa, who is the 13th accused in the CBI case on the alleged liquor scam. In this video, the father Kulvinder Marwa is heard saying that a fixed payment was made to the Delhi government, in lieu of which a free hand was given to operate liquor business in the state. He asserts that while he paid 253 crore rupees a year to the government, other vendors even paid up to 500 crores each. Listen in to this sting video.
प्रॉफिट की गेम ते 80% है 80% 1 रुपए ਦੇ ਮਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਨੂੰ 20 ਪੈਸੇ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ 20 ਪੈਸੇ ਦਾ ਮਾਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ 80 ਪੈਸੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਅੱਛਾ 1+1 ਕਰਨ ਡਰ ਗਈ ਸਾਨੂੰ 80 ਇੰਨੀ ਕਮਾਈ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਹੈ ਇੰਨੀ ਕਮਾਈ ਐਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਐਤਕੀ ਚਾਲੇ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ 20 ਦਾ ਮਾਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਵੇਚੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਫਿਕਸ ਨੇ ਪੈਸੇ साढ़े तो 253 करोड़ लेते ठीक है जाओ तो जितने मर्जी उगाना करो जो मर्जी करो 20 पैसा माल आंदा 253 करोड़ एक बंदे दो एक बंदे अच्छा साल का 253 नहीं है तो मिनिमम साढ़ा है बाकी 500 करोड़ लिया साढ़े तो सब तो घाटा का क्यों गल में से 20 टेंडर की पड़े सब तो छोटे ऐसे ले ले बाकी 200 टेंडर बने महंगे में लेने पे असी जो टेंडर पड़े ना कच्ची कॉलोनी पड़े जितनी दुकान सस्ती डिफेंस कॉलोनी सब और एक डिफेंस भी मेन रोड है ना इस पास डिफेंस कॉलोनी है उधर दुकान है 200 रुपये फुट इस पास कोटला उधर 90 रुपये फुट गांव के सड़क टप के दूर चले जाता है पर वो टेंडर लैन वाले बेड़ा गर्क हो गया असली दुकानें जी लिया ना जान के ऐसी कच्ची कॉलोनी को बना जितनी तो ना सस्ती मिलेगी लेकिन सेल तो सस्ते ब्रांड होगी सस्ते ब्रांड मिल जाएंगे माल भी पैसे का असं 40 की 80 नहीं है कई लोग 1+1 दे रहे हैं कई 2 वाली दे रहे हैं 1+2 भी दे रहे हैं मैं कह 2 दे रहे हैं माल दे भी पैसा है पहले इन्नी कमाई होंदी सी सर इन्नी पहले 70 पहले 20 रुपए का माल होंदा सी 70 रुपए गवर्नमेंट होंदे 10 रुपए साडे होंदे सी अच्छा हुन गवर्नमेंट ने की कीता आ गया 20 रुपए का माल लो जो मर्जी करो
Well, what Kulvinder Marwa, the father of accused number 13, has to say, I've been showing in this paper that I have access from agencies, and in this, the entire way this entire profit business was working has been explained, and I want to show this to you because how they say that 20 rupees is what you have to pay, the rest 80 you can sell at whatever price is what Kulvinder Marwa says. And I want to explain to you how this works. Now, let's take 4 heads and I will explain this to you in just these 4 heads. There are 3 major issues that you need to see. There is the excise, there is VAT collection, there is profit margin, and then there is the price for the consumer. Old versus new policy, how this worked. In the old policy, the excise was 223 rupees per bottle. New is 1.88, less than 2 rupees, ladies and gentlemen, less than 2 rupees. VAT was 106 rupees, has gone down to 1 rupee 90 paisa. Profit margin per bottle used to be 33 rupees and 35 paise. That has gone up to 363 rupees. The price, which was earlier 530 rupees per bottle, has gone up to 560 rupees. So if, ladies and gentlemen, I was to explain to you where is the government's or the exchequer's loss, it is because excise duty has come down from 223 rupees to less than 2 rupees. The VAT collection of 106 has gone down to 1 rupee 90 paisa, so it's down. The rate of the bottle has gone up from 530 rupees to 560. So you don't get the benefit of the lowering of the excise as well as VAT. And look at where the real story lies. Profit margins, 33 rupees up to 363 rupees. And it is this 10x profit which is what the allegations are all about. And it is on this that so far the Aam Aadmi Party has not been able to give any response. For the BJP, of course, through the sting, they have explained just this arithmetic that we've been telling you since the last several days. Excise, VAT, profit and price. Those are the questions that the Aam Aadmi Party needs to answer, and those are the questions raised by Dr. Sambit Patra of the BJP when the BJP held a press conference this morning to release the sting and put the charge sheet on the Aam Aadmi Party government. Listen in.
पहली बात, 80% का जो प्रॉफिट है वो दिल्ली की जनता के जेब से निकाल करके मनीष सिसोदिया और अरविंद केजरीवाल ने अपने यारों के, अपने मित्रों के दलाली के माध्यम से उनके जेब में डाला। ना, ये सरकारी खाते में नहीं जा रहे थे, तो ये कोई लाइसेंस फीस इत्यादि नहीं थे। एक एक व्यक्ति से पहले मालूम पड़ा कि 60 करोड़, जैसे इनसे मारवा साहब से 60 करोड़ रुपए लिया होगा अपने व्यक्तिगत कमीशन के लिए। तो मारवा साहब कहते हैं कुछ लोगों से तो 150 करोड़ ले लिया है, और ये जो है ये सरकारी खाते में नहीं जा रहे थे, मतलब ये मनीष सिसोदिया के खाते में जा रहे थे, जिसको हम तब से मोटा माल कह रहे थे। यहां पर स्पष्ट शब्दों में मारवा साहब जिनका स्टिंग हुआ है वो कहते हैं एक गलती तो बड़ी कर दी जी इन्होंने, ब्लैक लिस्टेड कंपनियों को बुला बुला करके इन्होंने टेंडर दिया है। टेंडर कंप्लेंट के बावजूद मनीष सिसोदिया जी ने टेंडर दिया, क्योंकि मोटा माल मिल रहा था कि 100 करोड़ की गाड़ी आएगी तो 12 करोड़ कमीशन होगा, 12 करोड़ में से 6 करोड़ उसी दिन जाके मनीष सिसोदिया को देना है। अब हमें समझ में नहीं आता था कि ये 6 करोड़ कोई छोटा रकम तो नहीं है, इसको हम कन्वर्ट कैसे करें ब्लैक मनी में, क्योंकि हमारे पास तो पैसे नहीं है, नोट में देने हैं। तो आप सोचिए किस कदर यहां लूट मची हुई थी, आज इसका खुलासा हुआ है।
Moments after the BJP released the sting video, it was Manish Sisodia, the Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, who turned up to counter the fire for the Aam Aadmi Party's side. He dismissed the BJP, which the BJP called a clincher, as a joke. He even went on to say that a CBI officer committed suicide 2 days earlier, and he did so because he was pressurized from the top. This is what Manish Sisodia had to say.
देखो, इन्होंने भारतीय जनता पार्टी काफी दिन से चिल्ला रही है, घपला हो गया, कभी 1300 करोड़, कभी 8000 करोड़, कभी 500 करोड़, कभी 144 करोड़, कभी 30 करोड़। फिर सीबीआई से इन्होंने एफआईआर कराई तो सीबीआई ने भी ढूंढ ढांड के दूर से कहीं से स्ट्रेच करके 2 कंपनियों के बीच की किसी वाइट डीलिंग को जबरदस्ती मेरे ऊपर थोपने की कोशिश की, वो भी सोर्सेज के हवाले से तो एफआईआर में लिखा। उसके बेस पे मेरे घर पे ग्रीड डलवा दी, घर पे कुछ नहीं मिला। तो अब बीजेपी कह रही है जी देखो सीबीआई नहीं ढूंढ पाई, अब हम स्टिंग करके देंगे। फिर वो कोई सड़क पे चौराहे पे खड़े होकर किसी को गाड़ी पे बिठा के कुछ कहते हैं, उसके कोई सवाल जवाब करते हैं, वो स्टिंग है, मजाक है। तो ऐसे स्टिंग मेरे पास भी है, मैं भी दे दूंगा कल बहुत सारे, फिर आप उसको भी चलाना। गलत तरीके से केस बनाकर ये उनके ऊपर दबाव डाला जा रहा था कि मेरे खिलाफ गलत तरीके से केस बनाकर मुझे अरेस्ट कराने की लीगल मंजूरी दें। उनके ऊपर जिन अधिकारी ने, सीबीआई के जिस अधिकारी ने सुसाइड किया है, उनके ऊपर गलत तरीके से दबाव बनाया जा रहा था कि मेरे खिलाफ इलीगल तरीके से, फर्जी तरीके से केस बना के मेरे अरेस्ट को मंजूरी दें, जिसको वो मंजूरी नहीं दे रहे थे। उनके ऊपर इतना दबाव था कि वो मानसिक दबाव में आ गए और उन्होंने सुसाइड कर लिया। ये बहुत दुखद घटना है कि सीबीआई के एक अधिकारी को, जिसको दिख रहा था कि पूरा का पूरा मामला फर्जी है, उसके ऊपर इतना दबाव बनाया गया गलत काम करने के लिए कि उसको आत्महत्या करने पर मजबूर होना पड़ा।
Has the Sharab scam stinged Sisodia? That's the legitimate question we're asking on the NewsHour tonight. The debate Liquor Gate Sting Twist. That's the hashtag and the debate on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining me tonight on the big debate, Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, Member of Parliament and National Spokesperson of the BJP, Ishkaran Bhandari, Advocate, Dr. Sumant Siraman, Political Analyst, Ravi Srivastav, Political Analyst, Arshdeep Muni, Political Analyst. And to you, Dr. Sumant Siraman, first. I want to ask you, there are specific questions that have been raised on this entire issue, and they are being explained in the sting operation that has been released today. And this is about the windfall gains and profits that the licensees have got, the loss to the exchequer, and the fact that blacklisted companies have been allowed and tender violations have been violated. I want to ask you, Dr. Sumant Siraman, isn't it important for the Aam Aadmi Party to answer these specific questions rather than bring in, all and sundry issues of a political fight? I'm not denying there will be a political fight between two opposing political parties, but none of the specifics have been answered, and that is the question I'm asking you tonight. Why?
Navika, I think on this particular issue, we are now scraping the bottom of the barrel. A raid was conducted on Mr. Sisodia's residence, nothing was found. A raid was conducted on his bank lockers, nothing was found. And he has been very upfront in saying nothing was found. Normally, they'll at least release some saying that something has been seized. Even that release was not there this time. So I think we are now reduced to scraping the bottom of the barrel, getting various people audios and videos and so on. First of all, this person's son is 13th accused. We don't even know if that man is guilty. So before that, there is a recording of his father saying something. I mean, is this some kind of a joke? I think Mr. Sisodia was right. He says that, look, the objective is to arrest him. And I think it would be much simpler to simply arrest him without any reason, saying that they would like to arrest him for political purposes and be done with it. Because this is not, I mean, this is getting embarrassing, frankly. Policy decisions are not scams. So far, there has not been a shred of evidence which has been put out in the public domain of any payments being made to Mr. Manish Sisodia or, or his family. And this kind of thing is sapping the administration on a daily basis. I mean, how can one be expected to govern when you are actually expecting to be arrested at any point of time and having to deal with the legal issues which go along with it? It's very, very unfortunate, Navika. And I think the fact that we are debating this complete non-issue of a quote-unquote sting video, about which neither about its authenticity of what the contents are in it, even an iota is not known. It tells us how far we have fallen, and honestly, if
Dr.
I really wonder,
Dr. Sumant Siraman, while you have the right to say whatever you want to say, but there are, like I started on the note that there are specific questions. The question is, listed companies were allowed to participate. Look, is that scraping the bottom of the barrel? The question on earnest money deposits being returned and tender conditions being violated. Is that a nonsensical question? Is it stupid to ask a question on why profit margins increased by 10x in this particular case? Are these stupid questions? Why was excise duty reduced from 223 to about 2 rupees? Is that a stupid question to ask?
But that's a policy decision. That's a policy decision.
All right. So the policy, Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, the policy was to reduce the inflows into the exchequers, and therefore you cannot question the policy, Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi. And this sting operation is a bogus operation, says Dr. Sumant Siraman. Respond.
Government reduced excise on fuel by 10 rupees.
Navika ji, I would like to respond to Dr. Sumant C. Raman in the same sequence. He has said that Manish Sisodia ji he is claiming that in his office and house nothing has been found. Sir, Manish Sisodia ji has openly claimed that well before several days, as per him, he was having some information through his sources in the CBI, quote unquote, by Manish Sisodia himself, that he is going to be raided. And then he is saying that nothing has been found. So I think he would not be foolish enough to leave around anything significant there in his house and office. Like on an examination days, if examination center is to be checked by a flying squad, and if it is announced well in advance that after 2 days or 3 days a flying squad will come, and then you will say nothing has been found, because if any material would have been there, it could have been shifted. So this logic doesn't stand when they claim that they were knowing the raid is going to happen. Now coming to this sting, there are two things. One is the content of the sting, another is the authenticity of the sting, but above all, the policy of the sting. Mr. Kejriwal was the first leader in the entire history of India who was sitting on the constitutional post as chief minister has said, आपके पास कोई आए जी तो इसका स्टिंग कर लीजिएगा जी और सीधे हमें दे दीजिएगा, हम स्टिंग पर ही कार्रवाई कर देंगे. Now he is saying the authenticity is to be verified, and this roadside sting, I want to remind the sentence of Kejriwal ji 6 years back. अगर रोड पे कोई पुलिस वाला तुमसे कुछ मांगे, स्टिंग कर लीजिएगा जी, हमें दे दीजिएगा, हम उस पे कार्रवाई करेंगे. Now they are saying the roadside sting is not valid. Now, as far as technical aspect is, so first their moral credibility is being demolished by this act, and now they should tender an apology that when Kejriwal ji has said that sting ke base pe karwai honi chahiye, it was childish, naive and bachkana. Now coming to this thing, on technical aspect, it would have been very easy. They would have called Mr. Varma, and he had said in the press conference, I have not spoken anything like this, I was not in the sting. The thing would have been clear. दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी हो जाता. But ये तो कर नहीं रहे. Today LG has slapped a notice to them. Do they have audacity to question the authenticity? They could have asked for forensic testing. Even they could have asked for clear inquiry. Even I can say, even they could have asked that narcotics can be done, that this person was not there in the sting. But unfortunately, on every technical aspect, they are retrieving and trying to dodge on every aspect. तो मेरा ये मानना है कि ये स्टिंग के ऊपर अब कम से कम इनकी मॉरल डिफीट तो हो गई है. जो सबसे पहले स्टिंग की ऑथेंटिसिटी कहते थे, आज उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया कि इस ढंग से किसी स्टिंग पे उनके हिसाब से कार्रवाई नहीं होनी चाहिए, उन्हें माफी मांग लेनी चाहिए. उसके बाद हम इस बात पे जवाब देते हैं. नहीं, oh my God, I want to say whether Kejriwal ji as chief minister has said it or not.
Oh my God.
Now he should apology or not.
The issue
that
is
my
not
statement was wrong.
Thing.
Otherwise,
the issue is whether
keeping in view his own words, he should have said. And
Sir,
second thing,
the
they are
issue
the person
is not about the
जो
video.
ये कहते थे,
what
allegation लगते ही resign करना चाहिए. Allegation लगते ही resign करना चाहिए. Now they are saying, let allegation be complete, and not this. Even Mr. Satyendra Jain, who is in jail, who has not given any reply from the court, still he is कट्टर ईमानदार. गजब की ये वही लोग हैं 8 years before. Those used to say like this, that even an iota of allegation come, the person or leader should have resigned and provided all his credentials to the Lokpal. वो टोपी पहनते थे ना, मुझे चाहिए जन लोकपाल. कहाँ गया जन लोकपाल? Forget about Jan Lokpal. They have made one Lokpal in their own party. Admiral Ramdas vanished, finished. So now they have been totally exposed, and this sting has been nothing but another blow to the credibility of the Aam Aadmi Party.
Well, Sumant C. Raman, can you actually answer the specifics? I again implore you, answer the specifics.
Yeah. I am answering the specifics. First of all, the fact that this may really be Mr. Marwa. The point is whether what he is saying is true. You have zero evidence that what Mr. Marwa said is true. So, and you're putting out this quote unquote sting video on national TV. Now, the second point, very importantly, many of these relate to decisions taken by the government and put out in public domain. You can question the wisdom of those decisions. That does not make them scams.
Okay.
Every time government
Fair
goes
point,
excise duty
fair
on something,
point,
it
but
is not
I'm
equal to a
also
scam. In that case,
asking you,
central
Dr.
government and
Suman
various state
Siraman,
governments are
the
committing scams.
wisdom of completely removing excise duty and VAT we can question. Okay, itna tak to hum मान गए. Now I want to ask you, does flouting tender norms fall under the category of wisdom, or does it fall under the category of breaking the law? Answer that.
Does it not, one minute, does it not remain to be proven? Does it not remain to be proven that tender norms were violated? Is that not for a court of law
that is why the Aam Aadmi
some
Party
judicial
issued.
authority to establish tender norms were
Ravi
violated?
Srivastav
That
ji,
blacklisted firm?
Ravi Srivastav ji, the fact that
What is the
Suman
problem?
Siraman is
That is
saying
not
that
being
is a
proven
matter
yet.
of investigation. So let me ask you, before the investigation, the Aam Aadmi Party itself has decided to give a show cause notice. Now, why a show cause notice is not taken to its, to its logical conclusion? Isn't that a valid question to ask? Number one. Number two, you gave a license to somebody and took a 30 crore earnest money deposit. Instead of getting an okay from Airports Authority of India, the licensee could not get that permission, which is the job of the licensee to get. Yet, you are in a hurry to return back the 30 crores. मुझे बता दीजिए ऐसे कितने लोग हैं जिन्होंने सरकार से अपने डिपॉजिट इतनी जल्दी में निकाल लिए जैसे ये वाले निकले. ये सवाल बीजेपी ने उठाए हैं, और अगर ये उठाए तो इनका जवाब क्यों नहीं आ रहा? Why?
The ruling government in Maharashtra has returned 385 crore to a private company just now. Go for the inquiry. Now, first of all, let me tell you, this sting is all bogus, and all that you are asking about the show cause notice is an administrative matter. It does not fall in the preview of a scam or a fraud or any such thing. This particular sting is a fraud done by the father of an accused. I repeat, accused. How far he should be trusted and why should he be trusted? This is a homemade video by the BJP by which they have nothing else but to malign the Aam Aadmi Party. The Manish Sisodia has blatantly told, brotherly said it, that is a joke, literally a joke. And they will give you some more videos tomorrow. Will you run it?
You said
they will
father
give you videos tomorrow.
of accused number 13. Father of accused number 13, should he be trusted? Then a corollary to that is, there is an accused number 1, Mr. Manish Sisodia, who's been holding press conferences. Should he be trusted? Simple corollary.
What did he? No, simple corollary, but my question here is, did Manish Sisodia say that I don't want an inquiry? He welcomed it. He said, come on, probe me. Had the Balwinder Singh said, come on, probe me. You have made a video and you are making it as it is a gospel truth. And first thing is, where is the quid pro quo? Where is the money trail? Nothing. You only want to ask 30 crore, 144 crore, 5 crore.
Ishkaran Bhandari, Mr. Ravi Srivastav and Dr. Suman Siraman think that we are raising bogus questions. Everything in this case, every allegation is bogus, and therefore, the entire case that has been put forth by the BJP is a bogus case. Respond to Mr. Ravi Srivastav.
Navika ji, in the clip you were showing, Mr. Marwa says a very interesting line, चाल ये चली. तो उस टाइम से चाल यही चली जा रही है. Sometimes it becomes New York Times as a defense. Sometimes it becomes 20 crore is being given to my LMLA. Sometimes it becomes I will call a no confidence motion against myself. Sometimes you have to attack the LG. But today was the lowest. Anybody who understands law knows that a person who is a deputy legal advisor in charge of prosecution is somebody who's supervising how the counsels are doing in matters which are being charge sheeted. But nothing will remain sacrosanct for Manish Sisodia not to attack. So what he says, a person whose duty is not to see the investigation, a person whose duty or responsibility does not lie into the fact whether somebody should be arrested or not, a person who's doing his professional job, seeing a charge-sheeted case, a very different stage from an FIR, and that also there will be multiple officers seeing that in charge of different cases and different courts. He unfortunately does something which is under investigation, and that also becomes something to be used to proclaim your innocence. They have two different views. When they are not in power, if they find a scrap of paper lying on the road, then they want people to resign, for which two ministers have made them apologize. Probably the LG may succeed in the case and they may apologize 3-4 years down the line. And anytime something comes on them, including a sting, there was a video of Mr. Kejriwal, there is a Anna Hazare letter where he himself said that महिलाओं से पूछो कहां पे liquor shop खोलेंगे, 90% agree करें. That is also a sting. That is a live video where also he is disowned that. So basically what has happened is lie for anything under the sun, but of course the lies will only end if CBI can prosecute and convict, otherwise the lies will not end.
Well, I want to get in Mr. Muni. Mr. Muni, where do you stand on this debate? Is the BJP playing political theatrics, or is the Aam Aadmi Party dodging from the hard questions that are facing them? You're on mute.
You have been in journalism, and the most important factor is that is this a sting or not? Who has done this sting by BJP? Who is this person? He is an accused named by BJP. Who is this person? Who is a nobody? And on this nobody saying irrelevant without naming somebody, has he named some minister? Has he named any Pravakta of Aam Aadmi Party? Has he named any MLA? Even the deputy chief minister, has he named? Nothing.
But
this is nobody and nothing.
He's spoken about the modus operandi, and nobody is saying that this has to be taken on face value. It will have to be proved in a court of law with evidence.
Anybody or everybody. Ravita, just let me 1 minute to complete. It may be said by anybody or everybody, but if there is the BJP has the CBI, IT, and all the organizations. Why didn't they submit this video to them? Why did they put this video out? This is political gimmicking, and trust me on this video is
so let me ask you a counter question, Mr. Muni. If this is political gimmickry, what about the charge that Mr. Sisodia and Mr. Kejriwal made about the fact that 20 crores were offered to their MLAs and we'll put out the evidence? Was that also gimmickry? Because we haven't seen the evidence just yet.
That will come out. That will come out. Trust me on this, and coming time, that will come out.
Is there an expiry date?
I totally agree. No. I totally agree. As per my sourcing, they will be coming out with the video sooner or later. We have to wait, and the spokespersons have not denied it officially, and they will be coming out.
Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi.
Mr. Muni is talking about political gimmickry. So I would like to say Aam Aadmi Party is having 90% majority in the House. I think nowhere in the political history of India, previous they were having 96% majority, now they are having 90% majority and still trying to impose a self-imposed vote of confidence. This is not mimicry, this is the political pious chastity. Then, doing every Delite, means the resident of Delhi, engulfed in Daru, then going to the Samadhi of Mahatma Gandhi, whose Janma Jayanti is considered dry day throughout the country, and they are trying to vow for the chastity of their liquor policy. This is the political pious chastity, it is not gimmickry. Writing in their own book Swaraj that we will close all the liquor shops and any liquor shop will not be, as Kiran Bhandari indicated also, can only be open after written permission of 90% women of that area, which is being mentioned by their fountainhead of inspiration, their Pitra Purush, their fatherly figure, Anna Hazare in his letter. But that is not political gimmickry, that is kattar imandar political pious chastity. Sir, now everything has been exposed from top to bottom. Now they were the party, only party who has said, as the allegation come, person should resign. Then they were said, there is no investigation, immediately resignation. But we are the only political party which has tendered apology in Supreme Court of India for laying the false allegations against Sri Nitin Gadkari, against Sri Arun Jaitley, against Sri Kapil Sibal, against Sri Manish Tiwari. Maybe LG going to be the next. So I think their political gimmickry has been exposed not only in the eyes of public, even in the court of law.
Okay, sir. With all respect, can I come in? I really respect, sir. So one thing that is very important is that Navika, previously the number of it was totally made that this liquor policy will change Delhi into a liquor hub. Interestingly, on facts it is not. 849 liquor shops were there in the previous policy. After the second city by Arvind Kejriwal was brought in, 600 liquor shops came. It came down to 600, and now today it has come down to 464. So liquor shops has come down rather than increase
because my friend, you have cancelled the policy. Why did you cancel the policy? If there was nothing wrong with the policy, and if it was going to solve all the problems of Delhi, why did you cancel the policy? Number one. Number two, the exchequer is not gaining much. It is not gaining much, and the figures are out there because an RTI says that initially the sale of liquor in Delhi was to the tune of, I think, 135,000 liters, and it more than doubled after the new policy. Then why did you stop it? Means that your assumptions of the sale of liquor in policy X was different from the sales that took place, and therefore the loss to the exchequer was way more that you had calculated, and that's exactly what was said by the excise department in the Delhi government. All their proposals were rejected.
With all respect, Navika ji, I'll reply all your questions fast. In a short while.
Navika.
First and foremost is that.
Coming to you.
First and foremost is that why this liquor policy was taken back. This liquor policy was taken back because there was no liquor rent in the 40% of the part of the Delhi. What happens is that the 849 liquor shops were distributed throughout Delhi, and later on, when 2 days before this policy was brought into action, Delhi LG took back and said that on the 40% area of Delhi will not have any liquor shops.
But you still implemented it. You still implemented it for a while. The losses were showing, and that's when you cancelled it. Isn't that true, Ishkar and Bhandari? Are they being extremely economical with the truth and what happened on the ground?
Let me answer.
They are not being economical with the truth. They don't know what truth is. The brazenness is so brazen that it is almost admirable. That how can you be so brazen? Some CBI officer in charge of a different department, you relate to your case. You come and say CBI will raid me. You come and say CBI has given me a clean sheet. You have become CBI director. So it is not their economical with truth. They don't have a nodding acquaintance with truth. That is the reality. But let's come to the specifics. आप मुझे ये बता दो, ज्यादा दारू बेच के कम पैसे कमाने का क्या सिस्टम है जो आपने किया? And that is the reason they had to withdraw. The sales increase, but the profits go down. In a captive. Let me answer. Don't interrupt. We can't have a debate this way. We can't have a debate this way. You bring out a policy to increase the revenue. The sales go up, the revenue goes down. You have to, when you are caught, you have to change the policy. You don't say, no, we are right, kattar imandar policy hai, isme paisa badega, we will stick to the policy. So what you are doing is basically unheard of profits, where the person on the sting video says, 20 rupees ki cheez 100 rupees mein bech raha hu. So where is the profit going? It's definitely not going to the Delhi government, and that is what CBI has to investigate. And I hope they investigate very fast manner.
Dr. Suman Siraman.
Navika, 2 points. First of all, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is on record as saying that the CBI has already seen all the files related to this more than a year ago, and they have not chosen to do anything further on it to the best of his knowledge. So therefore, that is the first fact that remains. The second part is, We started this debate saying there has been a loot and there has been a scam. Then we sort of came one step down to saying that, policy decision, why did they take such policy decisions that caused loss to exchequer? Now we are down to Arvind Kejriwal actually said he will consult women before opening liquor stores, and he broke his poll promise. So I think that in 30 minutes, if we have traveled from a huge scam to Arvind Kejriwal has not implemented a promise that he made, I think that's a significant drop in just the space of about 25 minutes. I think it is best to wait for the investigation, not run these nightly pantomime shows where, the credibility of the investigating agencies, it's not about what
Dr.
the BJP wants to do or not.
Should the BJP wait for the investigation report from the CBI rather than starting pantomime shows, as Dr. Sumant C. Raman says?
Navika, I am aghast by the astounding wisdom which has been shown by Dr. Sumant C. Raman. Sir, Arvind Kejriwal has not said this. Arvind Kejriwal ji has written this in his book Swaraj, giving his concept of politics which he wants to bring. And inspired by whom? Inspired by Anna, whom he considered the fountainhead of his movement from which it has come. Like Anna ji is for them is like Deen Dayal Upadhyay for us. And the book is like Ekatma Manavvad. Can any of the BJP leaders said कि एकात्म मानववाद तो बेकार था और दीनदयाल जी को परगलाया गया था? Now Anna ji has written to Kejriwal कि तुमने पॉलिटिक्स में क्या कर दिया सर? उनका लिखा है, बोला नहीं है, लिखा है. ये मैं क्लियर करना चाहता था. पॉलिटिकल विजन में लिखा है. इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूं that been totally and another astounding wisdom that the policy which they have withdrawn, but they are coming here to defend. It's very peculiar, sir. When the policy is not worthy to be there in the law, then how it can be worthy there to defend in the debate on television channel?
Well,
I think this duplicity has further exposed the dual characteristic of
I just want to tell our viewers tonight, is this political shadow boxing between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, or are there some genuine questions that arise out of why would the Aam Aadmi Party government reduce the inflow into their own coffers, even though they had money to be made which could have been used for the welfare of the people of Delhi? It's a question. Why were there windfall profits offered to those who were given these licenses? And why was the commission raised from 2% to 12%? While Dr. Sumant C. Raman may want us to believe that policies are policies and should only be questioned on wisdom, the question people of India are asking, well, wisdom or not, the question is, दाल में कुछ काला था या नहीं? And we'll only know that when the investigation is out, when this matter gets to the courts, we'll know what exactly happened in this policy. We leave it at that as I thank my panelists for joining me on debate number 1. On the other side, the big Central Vista debate, has it been laid to rest? Ladies and gentlemen, Modi government's ambitious power corridor in Delhi, the Central Vista, is slowly taking shape and becoming a reality. 3 days from now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to inaugurate the revamped Central Vista Avenue, and ahead of the big event, the centre has today given the public a sneak peek into the new and improved version of the avenue. Almost 19 months since the Bhumi Pujan ceremony and 20 months since it was closed for the public, Central Vista Avenue will be thrown open for the public. The 3-kilometer long stretch starting from the north and south block to India Gate includes Rajpath, which will now be rechristened and called the Kartavya Path, because the message is clear. It's not about allowing people to rule. It is about doing the duty towards the people that will be the significant change in the thought process The adjoining lawns of what was called the Rajpath and now becomes the Kartavya Path are lawns and canals and rows of trees, Vijay Chowk and the India Gate Plaza. The refurbished avenue will be more pedestrian friendly with additional underpasses and walkways for better connectivity. And just in case you were wondering what would happen to the ice cream sellers, worry not. They have been given dedicated spaces now so that pedestrians can go with their families and also enjoy their ice cream. There are also 6 new parking lots, amphitheatres, 64 toilets for women, 32 for men and 10 for differently abled people. All this for a first-class experience for visitors. Perhaps it is these conveniences that have forced even the harshest of critics of the Vista to do a course correction. I'm talking about author Arshdeep Singh, who while driving through the renovated stretch admitted that it has enhanced the beauty of this most famous Delhi road. To put the turnaround in context, just about 8 months ago, Arshdeep Singh only saw mounds of debris scattered where there would have been manicured lawns and called upon the Modi government to stop the Vista redevelopment and use the money for health infrastructure instead. But this change of heart about the vision of Modi government seems to go beyond the central Vista. Just yesterday, a prominent columnist and economist, Swaminathan Iyer, wrote about how the critics of the Sardar Sarovar project in Gujarat had been proven wrong by the benefits it has accrued. Iyer also mentioned how critics like Medha Patkar had managed to mislead thousands and must now apologize for stalling a project that is benefiting millions now. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the debate. Aandolanjeevis exposed. That's the hashtag. And that's the question we are asking our panelists tonight. Joining me on the debate with Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi and Ishkaran Bhandari are advocate Kapil Madan, political analyst, and my first question goes to Abbas Haider, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Tonight, Abbas Haider, would you actually compliment that trolling Mr. Modi on the Narmada Dam and the Central Vista was really a mistake made by the opposition, and today are you in a mood to apologize? Galti hoti hai. We sometimes are averse to change. We can apologize if we've made a mistake. Would you want to do so?
Navika ji, it is a matter of priority for the nation. See, on the 2nd of February, Parliamentary Panel on Health gave a report. It tabled in the Rajya Sabha. It was tabled and it said that the government should maintain adequate supply of oxygen in the country. And on the 5th of February, Bhumi Pujan of Central Vista project was being done. So, a country where 230 million people have slipped below poverty line in past 8 years. A country where in 7 years, I mean, the employment rate in youth has gone down from 20.9% to 10.4%. Government should, the priority of government should to give employment to the youth, to enhance the standard of living of the people. But spending 20,000 crore on a project on making mansions and pedicured gardens instead of giving 1 crore oxygen cylinder to the people in need is certainly a question.
सुंदर लग रहा है कि नहीं, इतना तो बता दीजिए. कोई टैक्स नहीं है जीएसटी में, नहीं है इसमें. सुंदर लग रहा है कि नहीं, पहले ये बता दीजिए. आपने तो कहा था हिस्ट्री डिस्ट्रॉय हो गई, भद्दा लग रहा है. अब सुंदर लग रहा है कि नहीं, इतना तो बता दीजिए. बाकी के सवालों के जवाब सुधांशु जी से लेते हैं.
मैडम, एक देश में जहां की आबादी के 84% लोगों की आमदनी कम हुई है, वहां पे 20,000 करोड़ आप इसलिए खर्च करते हैं कि आपका नाम हो, आपको लोग याद रखें. तो आपसे सवाल तो पूछा जाएगा, आपसे सवाल पूछा जाएगा. आपने
सफाई में जब सेलिब्रेशंस होते थे तब लोग गरीबी हट चुकी थी उत्तर प्रदेश से. सफाई में जब फिल्म स्टार आकर डांस करते थे बर्थडे पर तो गरीबी नहीं थी उत्तर प्रदेश में. सब खुशहाल था, वहां दूध और शहद की नदियां बह रही थी उत्तर प्रदेश में. सुधांशु त्रिवेदी जी, इज दिस अ फैसाइल आर्गुमेंट दैट इज बीइंग पुट फॉरवर्ड बाय अब्बास हैदर साहब?
इमाम था, दिस पर्टिकुलर प्रोजेक्ट was
all right. Allow Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi to respond.
Essential service.
Allow Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi to respond.
I am unable to understand. And in which wonderland Mr. Abbas is there. Sir, yesterday, day before yesterday, India has surpassed United Kingdom or Britain to become the 5th largest economy in the world. It is not a data given by anybody inside the government or any RSS BJP person. It has been an IMF data. We have surpassed Britain, who has ruled us in 75th year of independence. But our rate of inflation is 7.1%. 63 countries in the world have more than double-digit rate
we are
of
going
inflation.
to surpass.
And our rate of unemployment is much better than these days. Our foreign exchange reserve is much better. Now coming to this, you are saying it's not a project for just beautification. It's for the ultra-modern, well-equipped offices of all the ministries to work with efficiency, along with a parliament which will be capable of delivering the requirement of the 21st century India and also shedding away the reminiscence of the British Raj. और अगर आपसे पूछना चाहें, आप बहुत बता रहे हैं, यूपी जहां पर आपके जमाने में क्या थी अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट की रेट, याद करिए, उस जमाने में हज हाउस बनता था, हज हाउस, मुगल गार्डन इन आगरा, and 200 something crores for Kabristan.
Sir,
and you are saying that for a state like Uttar Pradesh, what was the use of this?
In BJP government.
And today we are saying that after India has come to that stage that we have become the 5th largest economy, inflation is under control, rate of growth is 8.5, inflation is 7.1, well below the
rupee devaluation is 38%.
But it doesn't help. It doesn't help if you speak over everybody. It doesn't help. It doesn't make your point, your argument stronger.
Sir, you're going to put us in a
it is his turn to respond to you, Abbas Haider. Please don't force me to lower your fader.
Mr. Abbas Haider, just one sentence. One sentence. चलिए आप वो भी छोड़ दीजिए, हज हाउस छोड़ दीजिए, आप आगरा का मुगल गार्डन छोड़ दीजिए, आप ये बता दीजिए, ये सैफई में जो एयर स्ट्रिप बनी थी ना, उस पे जेट प्लेन भी उतर सकता था. The fastest and the biggest jet can land on Sefai. In the village like Sefai, who was going to touch down with the latest jet aircraft? Any common man of Uttar Pradesh? Any common person? And how many were the airports in UP? Just 2, Lucknow and Varanasi. Now we have made 7 airports. अरे भगवान बुद्ध की जन्मस्थली पे भी एयरपोर्ट बन गया, कुशीनगर में इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट. That is for the public, and you people were using for yourself, and now you are trying to give in sermon, sir. So that's why the facts are in starking contrast to what you are saying.
Well, Kapil Madan, my question to you is the pedestrian ways that have been made, the toilets. Now these are small things, but it shows that the intent is to increase public usage, make it more of an experience, and this is what the Central Vista does. Today, are you in a mood to compliment the Prime Minister for his far-sightedness?
To begin with, I just hope that the BJP government should have shown the same sort of alacrity while they've announced several AIIMS hospital. However, they have not delivered. And just to name a few, AIIMS Nagpur was announced in 2015.
So you have nothing to say about the Central Vista?
No, I will.
नहीं Central Vista पे पहले बोल दीजिए, उसके बाद.
Central Vista पे भी आ रहा हूँ. मैं आपको वो प्रोजेक्ट बता रहा हूँ जो अनाउंस किए गए.
कपिल मतान जी, वो कहते हैं ना, शादी में फूफा जी आते हैं, वो हमेशा नाराज रहते हैं. तो आप अपनी नाराजगी थोड़ी साइड में रख दीजिए. अगर पसंद आ रही है तस्वीरें तो बोल दीजिए looks good, and then you can say if and but.
Let me respond. Let me respond. So, at the cost of being called as a naraz fufa, I won't mind you called me a naraz fufa. But then again, my facts won't change. The fact remains that there have been several AIIMS hospitals that has been announced by the Modi government, All I am trying to raise a red flag here. If they start Central Vista in 2020, and if they can finish Central Vista in 2022, then what stopped them from finishing the AIIMS hospital that the government has announced? However, they are yet to see the light of the day. And I can tell you a few of them. AIIMS Nagpur was announced in 2015. AIIMS Andhra Pradesh was also announced in 2015. AIIMS Raebareli UP was announced in 2009. Right. So out of 50,
all
right.
right.
My information.
Valid argument, Ishkaran Bhandari. Valid argument by Kapil Madan.
Navika ji, let us stick to the debate. I don't want to speak. 1 second, just give me 2 seconds. Central Park.
announced in 2009.
One second. Can I, Navika ji, make my point?
Yeah.
Navika ji, Sudhanshu ji has covered Central Vista, and we'll do many debates on that. Every global city has a park which is of international standards. Be it Hyde Park in London or Central Park in New York, those people who want India to live in poverty or in unmaintained facilities will obviously oppose it, because that is their idea of what a parliament should be and what should be the central part of Delhi. Forget that. Can I speak for 1 minute? Narmada Dam, a dam which gives you bijli, electricity, pani, drinking water, roti means pani for irrigation, and has increased the prices of land. And this entire ecosystem of Medha Patkar, including some Bollywood people like Amir Khan who joined the Aandolan, opposed that, escalated the cost by thousands of crores. It is the durbhagya of India that anytime we have development, anytime we want to increase the livelihood of people by increasing the business or increasing the beauty or give the basic drinking water, irrigation water, bijli, there are professional NGOs who God knows funded from where oppose it. I only request that the BJP starts investigating these NGOs and recovers the cost escalation of Narmada Dam and all such infrastructure projects which they delay. Public is paying, the taxpayer is paying the cost escalation. Please
absolutely good point, Sudhanshu Trivedi ji. Last comment to you.
I also agree that the leftist or the leftist inclined so-called social workers like Medha Patkar and others, you know what is their intent? In their eyes, the poverty is the capital, because on that capital they can do politics, and in their eyes, the shabby, poverty-stricken image of India is the beauty for them. They don't want to see any project coming up so that India can raise up to stature, and any good picture of India coming, as Ishkaran has said, at the international arena, then they feel a little bit of पेन इन देयर हार्ट. तो इसलिए मैं सिर्फ ये कहना चाहूंगा, अब बहुत दुनिया बदल गई है. 75th ऑफ ईयर्स ऑफ इंडिया हैज पास्ड. अमृत काल स्टार्ट हो चुका है. छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी. अब नए दौर में लिखेंगे मिलकर नई कहानी. इस अमृत काल में फ्रॉम 75th ईयर टू 100th ईयर अंडर लीडरशिप ऑफ नरेंद्र मोदी जी, इंडिया इज अहेड. आपको आना हो तो बेहतर है कि हम सब मिलकर देश के साथ आगे बढ़े, इंस्टेड ऑफ क्रिटिसाइजिंग एंड डूइंग ऑल सॉर्ट ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स व्हिच इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड.
आप एक वर्ड बोलना भूल गए सुधांशु त्रिवेदी जी, और वो बहुत जरूरी था. छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी, नए दौर में लिखेंगे मिलकर नई कहानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी. प्रॉब्लम है हम हिंदुस्तानी इकट्ठे नहीं हो जाते हैं. हम होते हैं हम बीजेपी, हम सपा, हम कांग्रेस, और वहीं कलेश पड़ जाता है. सो आई जस्ट वांट टू से वी इंडियंस. यस डॉक्टर त्रिवेदी.
नहीं नाविका जी उसमें हिंदू शब्द आ जाता है, इनको उसमें हिंदू शब्द आ जाता है, इसमें इनको बड़ी प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है, और ये कहते हैं हमें हिंदू समझ में आता है, हिंदुत्व नहीं समझ में आता है. तो जब हिंदू रेट ऑफ ग्रोथ थी तो 2% थी, अब हिंदुत्व रेट ऑफ ग्रोथ 8.5%.
पर हिंदुस्तानी तो हिंदुस्तानी रहेंगे, और पुराना गाना है, गाने नहीं बदलेंगे. वो तो जो हमारे दिलों पर छाप छोड़ गए हैं वो हमेशा के लिए रहेगी. मिलकर नई कहानी लिखेंगे हम हिंदुस्तानी. थैंक यू वेरी मच टू माई व्यूअर्स, एंड थैंक यू टू माई पैनलिस्ट फॉर ज्वाइनिंग मी ऑन द न्यूज़ आवर टुनाइट. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Be safe.
The News Hour at 9 will be right back after the break.
welcome to this Times Now special broadcast. In today's episode of Inside Karnataka, we discuss about the upcoming BBMP election. What do these polls mean for the citizens of Silicon City? What's at stake for the political parties? We give you all these details and much more in the next half an hour of this special broadcast.
Bengaluru, the capital city of Karnataka, has a robust culture of civic activism. It's also an IT hub and in many ways a symbol of the vast strides India has made in the last few decades in the field of technology. It's a cosmopolitan city attracting talent from all parts of the country, a huge recipient of foreign investment, and a place that also stands out for its pleasant weather and greenery. But there are serious questions to be asked of the city's civic governance. Is Bengaluru's infrastructure really commensurate with its status as an international city? What of those tasked with the responsibility of ensuring an efficient municipal administration? Why is it that Bengaluru continues to be afflicted by serious civic apathy, not on the part of its citizens, but its administrators?
When it comes to the BBMP elections, and of course with the elections around the corner, we definitely have to talk about politics, and we have. But what are the core issues that plague the BBMP? What are the problems that the Bangaloreans really want addressed? To talk more about...
You're watching the News Hour at 9.
Delhi Lieutenant Governor VK Saxena has sent a legal notice to AAP leaders for alleging corruption charges and raising defamatory slogans against the LG. AAP leaders have been asked to reply on it within the next 48 hours. The Jharkhand Assembly passed a confidence motion tabled by CM Hemant Soren amid a walkout staged by BJP leaders. As many as 48 MLAs voted in the favor of the confidence motion.
You were watching the News Hour at 9. Stay tuned.
The most pressing issue, the most informed minds, free and fair exchange. Converse India with Rahul Shivshankar.
You're watching the News Hour Agenda, India's most loved primetime show at 10, week after week. I'm Padmaja Joshi. Now, it's a fact universally acknowledged that an India-Pakistan cricket match is something of a national obsession for our country. So it's but natural that tempers and passions run high. We often shout at the screen, we have a violent disagreements about whether a catch could be caught or not, but even given the high levels of emotional attachment that we have to such a match, something very uncharacteristic happened. In the last few overs of a match between the two countries, when young bowler Arshdeep Singh dropped a catch, suddenly a swarm of people descended on social media calling him, of all things, a Khalistani. Not only that, his Wikipedia page was also edited, calling him some kind of bizarre member of a Khalistani army or a force. Now, most people would have just scoffed at this stupidity and moved on. Except then that this trolling was used by the usual suspects in India to decry the death of the sportsman spirit, and worse, targeting of members of the minority community where only their patriotism is questioned. And this is because it follows to a pattern. First, it happened with Muhammad Shami, where an online attack on him was first orchestrated, and then that attack was quoted to smear India as anti-Muslim. And now, this bizarre Khalistan angle to what Arshdeep did.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Now remember, all of this is happening to a pattern where you have these handles originating in Pakistan coming out and targeting our cricketers. Even the most random observer would know that this is not something that any Indian cricket fan would do. Then what explains this kind of belief where you say that, oh, this attack is happening because India has turned intolerant? Let me go across. Joining us now is Manjinder Singh Sirsa, spokesperson of the BJP, Tushar Gupta, senior editor Swaraj, Shoaib Jamai, president India Muslim Foundation, Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst, and Vivek Srivastava, political analyst. Let me start by asking you, Shoaib Jamai, I'm sure even you watch cricket matches. Do you really think anyone sitting there is going to be like, "Arey, ye to Khalistani hai"? Don't you think this looks so stupid that anyone would disbelieve it?
Yeah, of course, I am very fond of cricket, and I used to play cricket at the university level. And so being a big fan of Team Blue, which bleeds blue in every matches, I'm very proud that the Indian team has displayed a great courage of cricketing spirit, and win and loss is a part of the game. I knew it. But the thing is that if you don't believe Mohammad Jubair, the collection of tweets, how the mercilessly our pride Indian cricketer Arshdeep has been targeted. If you don't believe that, can you believe the tweet of Harbhajan Singh, the Turbanator?
Sir, वैसे तो most of the tweets that he has compiled are coming from Pakistan. Some random person called Mudassir and Fassi Gill and Imran Hingora are sitting there. His Wikipedia page has been defiled by people whose IP address is in Pakistan. And yet we are so willing to believe that people in our country are hateful. We are like, पहले मोहम्मद शमी and now look, Arshdeep को Indians नहीं किया होगा. Who is this Mudassir? And why would any Indian, I mean, at worst you would say, अरे what a terrible cricketer. Which stupid person will say that he is a Khalistani?
No, it has been done before. You know, when the farmers, Sikh farmers were protesting in Delhi or outside the Delhi, they were called Khalistani. Even before that, Virat Kohli was told mercilessly because he supported Mohammad Shami, and his wife Anushka Sharma was lead actress in the movie PK with Amir Khan.
So wait, now are we agreeing that this has got nothing to do with religion? Now since you've yourself brought in Virat Kohli and Anushka Sharma, you agree this has got nothing to do with religion, right?
I don't think, but the thing is that when you called him Khalistani, I have seen so many Twitter handles which have originated from India, and I knew it. They are trolling me also from the so many.
But then why they are attacking Virat Kohli? Virat Kohli though is not a Khalistani.
I mean, why a Pakistani or other nation will troll him? Because Arshdeep, the catch which was dropped by Arshdeep, become a main factor for the Pakistan win. Why Pakistani will troll him?
Okay, so let's take this one by one. First, Mr. Sirsa, because you have filed a complaint as well, answer Shoaib Jamai, who says that first it was done to the farmers' agitation, they were called Khalistanis, and now it is being done to Arshdeep also. It is the same bunch of people who basically turn against minorities. Mr. Sirsa.
सो आई एम नॉट श्योर अबाउट दी शोमेश जमाई वो क्या कहना चाहते हैं, मुझको पता भी नहीं उनकी बैकग्राउंड, वो क्यों ऐसी बात बोल रहे हैं, पर मैं उनकी जानकारी में भी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट जानकारी शोमेश जी की जानकारी में लाना चाहता हूं। ये कोई खाली क्रिकेट से रिलेटेड नहीं है, ये हमारे खिलाफ देश में हेट बढ़े, नफरत बढ़े, इसके लिए कॉन्टिन्यूसली बहुत लंबे समय से 1980 के दशक से पाकिस्तान अपनी कोशिश करता रहा है और बार बार हमें खालिस्तानी प्रोजेक्ट करना, हमारे लोगों को प्रोजेक्ट इस तरह से करना कि हम एंटी नेशनल हैं, ये पाकिस्तान को क्यों सूट करता है? क्योंकि पाकिस्तान का एजेंडा, आईएसआई का एजेंडा ये है कि पंजाब को किसी तरीके डिस्टेबलाइज किया जाए, उसके लिए सिखों के खिलाफ एक नफरत बढ़ाई जाए। मान लीजिए जैसे आज आप यहाँ पे टीवी चैनल पर आए हैं, आप भी यही बात बोल रहे हैं जो पाकिस्तान सुनना चाह रहा है, तो उनकी कहीं ना कहीं ये जीत है। जब हम भारत के लोग अपने मुल्क में बैठकर पाकिस्तान की बात करेंगे तो उनकी जीत हो जाती है, तो यही उनकी भावना है, वो यही चाहते हैं कि भारत में बैठे लोग पाकिस्तान की हाँ में हाँ मिलाएं। सो प्लीज लेट मी कंप्लीट माय, देन please let me complete it. I don't know whether what you're saying, but I can't get you, but let me please complete my thing.
Absolutely baseless.
Padmaja, very
because we have seen in the previous instances also the 6 agitators were called Khalistani by the Indian media journalists and the anchors.
Please, Padmaja, can I?
No, एक second. First of all, hold on a second, Mr. Jamai. I don't know which anchors or whoever you are speaking of, but yes, if you are talking about the people who went on the rampage on the 26th of January at Red Fort, nobody called them Khalistanis, but they sure were people who engaged in criminal activity. But let's stick to the topic right now. Finish your point, Mr. Sirsa, and then I'll come back to you for a rebuttal. Finish your point. Yes, Mr. Sirsa. Hold on a second, sir. I will come back to you for a rebuttal. Let Mr. Sirsa finish. Okay.
These agitators were called Khalistani. Even
Mr. Sirsa,
who have come to
anyone who's inconvenient is called a Khalistani. Talk about the pattern, Mr. Sirsa.
So please. मैं आपको जो बता रहा था, मुझे तो कई बात करते शायद ये लगा कि जो हमारे दोस्त बैठे हैं शायद ये पाकिस्तान से हैं, पर अब मुझे क्लैरिटी हुई कि आपकी बात करने से ये तो इंडिया से हैं। तो मेरी रिक्वेस्ट इनसे ये है कि आप सुनिए, आप पाकिस्तान की तरफदारी मत कीजिए, आप हमारी भावना सुनिए और हमारा प्रॉब्लम और हमारा चैलेंज सुनिए क्या है। पाकिस्तान ने ऐसा क्यों किया, मैं आपको दिखाना चाहता हूँ। ये WS खान है, ये वेरीफाइड उनका ट्विटर हैंडल है। तो इन्होंने कल जैसे ये शॉट हुआ 11:08 पे उन्होंने ये प्रोपोगेंडा शुरू भी कर दिया और इसके अंदर कुछ इंडियंस ने भी उनका साथ दिया, जैसे ये जुबेर, जो मोहम्मद जुबेर हैं, इन लोगों ने क्या किया, मैंने आज वो कंप्लेंट भी दी थी। पद्मजा, पहले आपको ये सारा समझना होगा हुआ कैसे है, तो ये कोई नई चीज नहीं है, ISI हमेशा से ऐसा करते आई है। और मैं आप जो मेरे ये मित्र यहाँ बैठे हैं, प्लीज इनको इतनी पाकिस्तान के नाम से क्यों प्रॉब्लम हो रही है? आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट पाकिस्तान। मैंने तो किसी इंडियन को कुछ बुरा बोला ही नहीं है, फिर एक इंडियन क्यों इतना चिल्ला रहा है पाकिस्तान के नाम पर? मेरे दोस्त, आप भारतीय या पाकिस्तानी हैं? दोस्त, मैं तो भारतीयों की बात कर रहा हूँ, माय डियर फ्रेंड, मैं तो इंडिया की बात नहीं कर रहा, मैं अभी पाकिस्तान की बात कर रहा हूँ। अब पाकिस्तान की बात में इतनी तकलीफ आपको क्यों हो रही है? मेरे मित्र, मेरे भाई, मेरी विनती सुनिए, मैं अभी भी कंफ्यूज हूँ। आप
okay, again, let's be clear about a couple of things. Okay, let's be clear about a couple of things. Shoaib Jamai, there are two kinds of people who have spoken today. One person who has said, like Harbhajan, who has said, Arshdeep, we are with you, don't worry, mistakes happen. which is fair. Then there is another bunch of people who are like, oh ho, इंडिया तो कितनी घटिया जगह है, इंडिया हमेशा अपनी माइनॉरिटी के खिलाफ बोलती है, भले से ही वो सड़क पे चलता आदमी हो या फिर वो क्रिकेटर हो. These are people who said, oh, first it happened with Shami, now it's happening with Arshdeep. These are the people who are a problem. People who are talking about boosting the morale of a young cricketer, it's fine. Everyone's saying it. We are saying it. Everyone makes mistakes. Who hasn't dropped catches? Dhoni has dropped catches. Virat Kohli has dropped catches. Rohit Sharma has dropped catches. Who hasn't dropped catches? हर कोई drop करता है. And just by the way, when it comes to poor form, Mr. Jamai, even somebody like a Virat Kohli has been mercilessly trolled. Mercilessly trolled. Nobody says it's a good thing. Trolling anyone is bad. But to suddenly make it about ये क्योंकि सिख है इसलिए इसको बोला जा रहा है, that's just plain stupidity. Or as Mr. Sirsa says, playing into Pakistan's hands. Respond to this, Shoaib Jamai, and then I'll come back to Mr. Sirsa.
Padmaja, it's very clear. I am just saying one point. Those bunch of group, those trollers who were trolling the Sikh agitators and calling them Khalistani, those who troll them and calling those Sikh agitators who were part of Shaheen Bagh protest with us, because I was the national media convener of the Shaheen Bagh movement, they were called Khalistani. The same bunch of groups, this right-wing group, right-wing trollers are calling the Arshdeep Khalistani. That is my point. And it's been evident because I have seen Facebook.
Who is the right-winger? Name one person who's in the right wing or associated with BJP or associated with RSS who has called him a Khalistani. Name one person.
Even these trollers are trolling Harbhajan Singh because they
thought name one person, na? You have randomly said those same people who trolled me are trolling Arshdeep. Name them, na? आपको troll किया है ना? बताइए, नाम बताइए. Let's name and shame. And they should be booked also. Who are these?
Okay, I will tell the name. Give me some time because the mobile I am using for the Skype conversation that was stored in that draft only.
Right.
I will tell you. But the thing is, one point I want to make: these trollers, because from the last night I have been following this story.
By the time I must.
Mr. Sirsa is debating you. Mr. Sirsa is debating you. चलो अपना फोन चेक कीजिए क्योंकि आपको कोई राइट विंगर ट्रोल कर रहा है जो कि अर्शदीप को भी ट्रोल कर रहा है. आप नाम बताइए तब तक सिरसा साहब अपना पॉइंट कंप्लीट कीजिए. Yes, Mr.
They
Sirsa.
are trolling Harbhajan Singh also. Harbhajan Singh was become the MP.
मुझे बहुत आज दुख हो रहा है कि हम दो भारतीय बैठे हैं. शोएब जमाई जो हैं, ये देखिए, ये तो किसी को बोलने ही नहीं देना चाहते. मुझे बहुत दुख और खेद हो रहा है कि दो भारतीय बैठे हैं और उनमें से एक भारतीय जो पाकिस्तान को डिफेंड कर रहा. पाकिस्तान को डिफेंड क्यों करते हैं? हम एक बार पाकिस्तान की बात कर रहे हैं, आपको उस पर क्यों प्रॉब्लम हो रही है? मैं आपको नाम गिन के बताता हूं. द फेडरल पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन, पाकिस्तान से ट्वीट हुआ. मिस्टर हसन जबाई, जिहान नरेटिव, शहजाब अब्बासी, अहमद खान, ये सारे वो लोग हैं जिन्होंने 11:02, 11:01, ये सब लोगों ने अर्शदीप को नाम लेकर पाकिस्तान से शुरू कर दिया. और सबसे बड़ी बात क्या हुई कि हमारे देश में बैठे हुए एक आदमी जिसने का नाम मोहम्मद जुबैर है, उसने क्या किया? उसने इन सब का, ये पद्मजा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात आपके लिए भी और शोएब के लिए भी जानना जरूरी है. शोएब जी, इसको ध्यान से सुनिएगा. मुझे जिस बात का बहुत दुख और खेद है वो ये है, हमारे देश में बैठे हुए मोहम्मद जुबैर ने क्या किया? जो लोग भारत के हक में बोल रहे थे, जैसे टर्मिनेटर की आपने बात की, जो लोग अर्शदीप के हक में बोल रहे थे उनके ट्वीट इकट्ठे किए, जो पाकिस्तान में बोल रहे थे उनके किए, उनका एक कॉलेज बनाया, वो उस कॉलेज को उन्होंने क्या किया? प्रमोट करके ऐसा लिखा कि सारे लोग जो हैं ये इंडिया से अर्शदीप के खिलाफ बोल रहे हैं. उन्होंने उसको इस तरह से प्रमोट करके सारे ट्वीट्स को उन्होंने पाकिस्तान के हाथ में एक मसाला दिया और पाकिस्तान ने फिर उनके ट्वीट को डालकर यह कहा कि देखिए भारत के टीवी चैनल अर्शदीप को खालिस्तानी बता रहे हैं. तो एक बड़ी सोची समझी साजिश के तहत ये जो जुबैर था, इसने ये, मैं तो एक बड़ा सिंपल सी बात है, मान लीजिए जुबैर अपना है, हमारे भारत का है, अगर हक में आना चाहिए था.
Cheap Pakistani propaganda, which would have remained propaganda, was amplified by some within our country. हमारे देश के अंदर कुछ लोगों ने पाकिस्तानी प्रोपेगेंडा को जानबूझकर एम्पलीफाई किया to show the country as a Muslim Sikh hater. Why?
Good evening, Padmaja. Thank you for having me on your show. And at the onset, I want to thank Mr. Sirsa publicly. We started a trend last night, India with Arshdeep, and Mr. Sirsa not only tweeted it, he also stood by the trend, and it was a national trend. And the idea of the trend was to show that the country is absolutely with Arshdeep. I am, and I have no hesitation in saying, anti the present government. I'm very, very anti it. I will never ever support them. But when it comes to India, we are all united. So last night when I saw these tweets about Arshdeep, of course there would be disappointment, and there would be tweets that are disappointed that he dropped a catch or whatever. In the last over, we didn't, he conceded those runs. But those tweets, prima facie to me, those accounts seem like bot accounts. Now, anybody who's on Twitter understands what bot accounts and what aren't. So it seemed like it was bot accounts. It seemed like this was sort of being hyped up. I will not go on to say that somebody in India is involved in a conspiracy. That's not what I want to say. But there is no doubt in my mind that these were bot accounts done. And the amount of Pakistani influencers and Pakistani cricketers coming in and standing up for Arshdeep has absolutely cleared my doubt that this was sort of, they sort of Behti Ganga mein haath dho rahe the. They were advising us. I mean, the joke is Pakistan advising India on how to treat people.
So then tell me this, Mr. Sirsa has filed a complaint against Mohammad Zubair, who did a compilation of all of these tweets and seemed to insinuate that India has turned against one of its own cricketers. Do you think that was a hatchet job, or at best a badly researched fact check?
No, I don't think it's either of that, because I think what Mohammad Zubair may have tried to do is show that, look, there is this these tweets that are going on against Arshdeep. He's not blamed anyone. I saw his tweet. I also saw Harbhajan Singh's tweets. They are not blaming anyone, but yes, there were these tweet threads that have come in. But however, a lot of the tweets that came in seem to be from bots and seem to come from some IT cell, which obviously is not operating in India. Now, it is very difficult for me to believe that anybody who supports India will troll Arshdeep or call him a Khalistani. I don't think that's happened. That's not to take away. There may be one or two Indians who may have abused,
Mohammad Zubair, who you filed a complaint against, was not trying to besmirch or slander India. He was just saying कि देखो बदनामी हो रही है, या देखो अर्शदीप को अटैक कर रहे हैं.
No, this was not the case, because आप देखिए बड़ा importantly, so what he did, one drop catch, see read his tweet, he says one drop catch and then Ambozi. Now what he did in this is, ये सारे पाकिस्तान के जो ट्रोल ट्वीट्स थे उनको उसने कंपाइल किया और उनके अंदर इंडिया के वो ट्वीट डाले जो ट्वीट उसके हक में जा रहे थे. तो मैसेज ये देने की कोशिश की, जो पाकिस्तानी ट्वीट्स थे उनको सामने फ्रंट पे डाल के 1 2 3 रोज जो फ्रंट रोड्स थी उनके ऊपर सारे पाकिस्तानी टीम जो एंटी इंडियन बोल रहे थे, जो एंटी अर्शदीप बोल रहे थे, उनको डाला. नीचे उसने वो ट्वीट्स डाले जो इंडियन नाम के थे और जो अर्शदीप का खालिस्तानी लिख रहे थे, लेकिन पूछे थे व्हाई यू टॉकिंग अबाउट खालिस्तान, हु खालिस्तानी, सो दे वर इन द फेवर ऑफ अर्शदीप. तो उसने उन सबको कंपाइल करके एक कोलैज बनाकर और उसने उसको ट्वीट करके, अगर वो हमारे, मैं मान के चलता हूं कि हो सकता मुझे भी गलती लग रही हो, मैं ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं उनको 100% जज कर रहा हूं, पर माय क्वेश्चन इज, बीइंग अ मोहम्मद जुबैर अ इंपॉर्टेंट पर्सन, उनको भी पहले अर्शदीप के लिए तो कम से कम अपनी भावना व्यक्त करनी चाहिए थी, भारत देश के लिए करनी चाहिए थी. अगर उनका कंसर्न इंडिया के लिए था तो वो कंसर्न तो इंडिया के लिए दिख नहीं रहा. तो उनका कंसर्न क्या दिख रहा है कि वो ये बताने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि इंडिया में अर्शदीप ट्रोल हो रहा है. उन्होंने उनकी भावना अर्शदीप इंडिया में ट्रोल हो रहा है, इस ट्वीट से मतलब यही समझ में आता है. लेकिन वो इंडिया में ट्रोल नहीं हो रहा था, वो पाकिस्तान से ट्रोल किया जा रहा था और उनका पर्पस हम सिखों को बदनाम करना. देखो पद्मजा, हम एक बात आपको ना, एक भावना आप कभी हमारी शायद नहीं समझ पाएंगे, चाहे आप एंकर भी हैं, हम मिनॉरिटी में हैं. हमारे सिख जो हैं उनके ऊपर एक बहुत बड़ी मुसीबत खड़ी हो जाती है जब उनको एंटी सिख पेश करने की कोशिश की जाती है, और पाकिस्तान की ये कोशिश रहती है. मान लीजिए अब कल का ये विषय है, तो मैं आपको एक सिचुएशन बताता हूं, भगवान ना करे कभी ऐसा हो. मान लीजिए ये ट्वीट जो ऐसा चला था, अब लोगों के, इंडियंस के मन में ये भावना लाने में कामयाब हो जाते हैं कि हाँ भाई ये तो वाकई इंडियंस ट्वीट कर रहे हैं और सिख ट्वीट कर रहे हैं ऐसी बातें. तो किसी सिख का, कोई हमारे देशभक्त कोई क्रिकेट खेलते हुए ये सोचकर कि इसने किया, उसके ऊपर कोई इस तरह की बात कर देते.
Design is more insidious, Vivek Srivastava.
मुझे लगता है कि हम सबको
to paint India as some kind of a hellhole, and to actually put seeds under a cloud. Just plant that seed.
So आप मेरी कंप्लेंट अगर पढ़ेंगे पद्मजा, इफ यू गॉट माय कंप्लेंट कॉपी, आई थिंक यू मस्ट रीड दैट फ्यू लाइंस, तो आपको क्लैरिटी होगी. हमारा विषय, हमारा यही कंसर्न है कि हमें जिस तरह का पेंट किया जाता है उससे क्या होता है, हमारे लिए बहुत बड़े चैलेंजेस, दिक्कतें खड़ी हो जाती हैं. और
it's only a section, it's only a section which must be questioned and called out. In the common man's mind, There is absolutely no doubt at all, and nobody is questioning anyone's patriotism, least of all over a drop
there is
catch.
no doubt at anybody.
Is there an insidious design?
Nobody is
Srivastava, is there an insidious design?
No, nobody is questioning us. No, nobody is questioning us.
Mr. Sirsa, now please listen to me. Mr. Sirsa, now please listen to me. Mr. Sirsa, you are a changed man. बीजेपी ज्वाइन करने के बाद यू आर अ चेंज्ड मैन. फार्मर एजिटेशन में आपके अलग वक्तव्य थे, डिबेट्स आपकी अलग थी. यू आर स्पीकिंग समथिंग डिफरेंट. यू आर क्रिटिकल ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ अक्यूजिंग द सिक्स पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन द एजिटेशन.
बीजेपी के खिलाफ बोलता था ना, जब तक किसान की बात थी मैं करता था.
आज नहीं आज आपके साथ मैं भी डिबेट
पे था. तो मैं एक मुद्दे को लेकर खिलाफ था ना.
कंप्लीट.
तो मेरा मुद्दा भारत के प्रधानमंत्री ने हल किया है, माफी मांगकर हल किया है. तो देश के प्रधानमंत्री ने माफी मांग के उसको हल किया है. तो मेरी लड़ाई तो खाली फार्मर एजुकेशन में थी ना.
बट यू एक्नॉलेज
पे एलिगेशन लगाया
दैट द गवर्नमेंट वाज कॉलिंग द एजिटेटिंग फार्मर्स खालिस्तानीज. नहीं सर सुने आप. यू आर क्रिटिकल ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट बिकॉज द गवर्नमेंट वाज लेबलिंग.
मुझे एक बार भी बताएं मैंने जब
खालिस्तानीज.
नो मुझे एक भी मेरे
बहुत डिबेट में बोला है आपने, बहुत सी डिबेट में बोला आपने क्रिटिसाइज किया गवर्नमेंट को.
I'll quit from every public life. I'll quit from my public life if you just prove this line. No, if you prove this line, कि मैंने कहा कि गवर्नमेंट हमें, I'll quit from public life. You cannot use this kind of words.
Have you heard me?
गवर्नमेंट को बोला क्रिटिसाइज करता था.
When the government was using this kind of words,
I used to.
तो आपने खुद बोला कि ये हमारे
come to the point. Please come to the point. Today Mr. Sirsa is saying that a propaganda was created, then it was peddled and amplified in order to create divide and to paint Sikhs as somebody whose patriotism is under a cloud. It's a dangerous design. Answer that. Was this done deliberately?
Yes. Neither Mr. Shoaib Jamai nor me, we are Pakistani supporters. We are Indians. We love our country. We love the Sikh people and we stand for this nation, number one. Number two, if somebody has given Pakistan any chance, big or small, to raise fingers on our country, our society, it is the RSS and the BJP combined when it started accusing the agitating farmers of being Khalistani supporters. And at that time, Sirsa Sahab was on our side. Speaking,
sir, answer about the present issue. No, the present issue is very simple. That a young man has dropped a catch. Some people got angry with him. Nobody called him a Khalistani. Some random bots called him a Khalistani. Then some useful idiots decided to amplify it. The question is why?
How many percentage of people who were accusing Arshdeep of Indian origin? 20 to 25% as reported by the Modi supporting media today. Okay, so these tweets, many of them 20 to 25% were from India also. So I mean, do not try to blame all your problems on Pakistan.
Okay, answer that, Tushar Gupta. 20% of the people were from India also. You have perhaps not been able to hear the part where I actually said that there are useful idiots within our country who amplified PAC propaganda. That is the 20% you are speaking of, sir. And that is why we are asking why. Why would the 20% decide to amplify bots? Who is this random Yusuf who's saying Agent Arshdeep? Who are you, Yusuf? Who cares about what you think? Except this 25% sitting in India who will screenshot Yusuf and say, oh, sick. India is sick. And put one puke emoji over there. Why? Who is this Yusuf? Who cares about what Yusuf thinks? Tushar Gupta.
Padmaja, a very good evening, Padmaja. Padmaja, 25% in the case of tweets and 40% in the case of this panel. If you talk about the useful idiots. Look, I'm a sports lover. I don't care what party the cricketers vote for, what policy they support. I don't care what Arshdeep Singh stands is on farm laws or any other policy of the government. When he is on the field, for me, he is an Indian representing the country, playing for the country, playing against an opposition. That is all I care for. And it's not just about cricket, it's about any other sport. But what happened yesterday was a clear bot attack, and we should have been anticipating it after last year's Shami episode. The problem is people do anticipate that. To answer Mr. Sirsa's question, rest assured, sir, there are no people in India that would fall for the propaganda that was being curated from Pakistan yesterday and which was being amplified by a few useful idiots in India, some of them even former cricketers. I say this with great disappointment, but even some former cricketers were putting out tweets supporting Arshdeep and calling out the hate that was being spewed against him. The only problem is they were not pointing out that the hate was being spewed by bot accounts, as Tehseen rightly points out. So to answer Sirsaji's very humble question, no one in the country will ever take that propaganda seriously. But the problem is, why are these useful idiots who can see through the propaganda very clearly, who understand that this is a bot account attack, who understand where this comes from, readily, knowingly amplify it? That's my question. These useful idiots are not as idiotic as we think of them. They know what they're propagating. The question is why.
Shoaib Jamai.
मेरा एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है कि is he indicating point to the Harbhajan Singh, an ex-cricketer, as a useful idiot? This is very shameful. फर्स्ट पॉइंट. सेकंड पॉइंट कि मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि यहां से हो सकता है कि बहुत सारे पाकिस्तानी वोट होंगे जो ये खालिस्तान वाला ये चला रहे होंगे, लेकिन उसमें से जो आप 20% या 25% जो कह रहे हैं, जो इंडियंस हैं, जो हर्षदीप को खालिस्तानी कह रहे हैं, ये बहुत मैग्निमस अमाउंट होता है. मैं नहीं कह रहा हूं कि सारे भारतीय उसको खालिस्तानी करके ट्रोल कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जो 20% है वही तो राइट विंग ट्रोलर है जो किसान एजिटेशन के टाइम में.
अरे सर, आपको तो अब एल्गोरिथम समझाना पड़ेगा. जो 25% आ रहे हैं ना, वो 25% वो नहीं है जो कि कह रहे हैं अर्शदीप खालिस्तानी है. वो हैं जो कि खालिस्तान वाला हैशटैग यूज कर रहे हैं, इंक्लूडिंग पीपल जो कि प्यूक इमोजी लगा करके कह रहे हैं कि अर्शदीप को खालिस्तानी बुलाया जा रहा है. दैट इज हाउ द एल्गोरिथम वर्क्स. दोज आर द 25% हु आर शोइंग अप इन द एनालिसिस. एंड अब आप बताइए कि कौन से वो राइट विंग आरएसएस बीजेपी हैंडल्स हैं जिन्होंने अर्शदीप को खालिस्तानी बुलाया. बताइए शोएब जमाई.
देखिए, पहली बात तो ये तय है, मैं हर्षदीप के साथ हूं, मेरा पूरा देश उसके साथ सॉलिडेरिटी में पूरा
ग्रेट, हम सब आपके साथ है. अब आप ये बताइए कि आपने 20 मिनट पहले बोला था कि कुछ राइट विंग हैंडल्स हैं जो कि आपको भी ट्रोल कर रहे थे और अर्शदीप को खालिस्तानी बता रहे हैं. कौन से हैं वो हैंडल्स, बताइए.
मैं भरत शुक्ला, आरबीपीसी, ठीक है. उसके बाद अखिलेश दुबे. देखिए, अखिलेश दुबे लिखते हैं आज का मैच एक खालिस्तानी की वजह से हार गया.
कौन है अखिलेश दुबे? सिरसा जी की पार्टी से है, तुषार गुप्ता की कंपनी में काम करता है. कौन है भाई अखिलेश दुबे? दुबे तो राइट विंग हो गया.
शर्मा, नवदीप सिंह, कुणाल देव.
कौन है ये लोग? कौन है?
सचिन शिवम, ये अनिल कुमार, ये हर हर महादेव करके जो चला रहे हैं.
हर हर महादेव लिख जाओगे तो राइट विंग हो जाओगे क्या? कौन है ये लोग?
ये वही 2 रुपये वाले ट्रोलर है.
अरे आपको कैसे पता? कोई भी पाकिस्तानी बॉट हर हर महादेव लिख के हैंडल बना लेगा, आप उसको राइट विंग समझ लोगे. कौन है ये लोग?
These trollers were the same who were trolling us during the Shaheen Bagh movement.
Says who? Shoaib Jamai, Bureau of Investigation.
No credibility at all. I don't think the Arshdeep Singh is a Khalistani or
question, please.
Right, for you, Mr. Sirsa has no credibility, but this random Har Har Mahadev handle has a lot of credibility. Respond to this, Mr. Sirsa. लोग हर हर महादेव लिख करके ट्रोल कर रहे हैं, hence proven कि ये राइट विंग लोग हैं.
No, I just want
Mr. Sirsa.
शोएब भाई, शोएब जी, मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूँ, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग फॉर योर इन्फॉर्मेशन. शोएब, दैट वाज माय कंप्लेंट कि जिन लोगों को मोहम्मद जुबैर ने अपने इस ट्विटर हैंडल पर डाला है, वो लोग, वो अकाउंट बॉट अकाउंट्स हैं और वो अकाउंट्स का कोई फॉलोअर नहीं है. उनके नाम इसी तरह लिखेंगे, किसी का हर हर महादेव लिखा गया है, किसी का शुक्ला, किसी का मिश्रा. मैं यही मेरा सवाल था कि ये सारे अकाउंट्स मोहम्मद जुबैर के पास कैसे आए जो बॉट्स थे. प्लीज शोएब, मुझे बता देने दो, आपको मैं जानकारी देना चाहता हूँ. प्लीज आप सुनिए जरा, जरूर. आपकी जानकारी के लिए भी आप बार बार पाकिस्तान की बात मत कीजिए, अपने देश में, हम अपने देश की बात करें. अरे शोएब जी, बात तो सुन लीजिए.
जमा किया गया है ना सर.
सुन तो लीजिए शोएब जी, मेरी बात तो सुनिए. आप सुनने तो दीजिए, मेरी बोलने तो दीजिए. मैं आपको यही तो बताने जा रहा हूँ. शोएब जी, आप सुनना क्यों नहीं चाह रहे? व्हाई यू आर नॉट लिसनिंग टू मी? भाई, आप मेरी बात तो सुन तो लीजिए प्लीज.
शोएब जमाई, बिफोर मिस्टर सिरसा एक्सप्लेन्स, लेट मी एक्सप्लेन सम बेसिक. अभी हमने एक एल्गोरिथम डिस्कस किया. बॉट्स का कॉन्सेप्ट ना ऐसा होता है, जब कोई बॉट हैंडल बनाता है वो ये नहीं लिखता अपने नाम में ISI प्रोपेगेंडा हैंडल, वो यही लिखता है संजीव शर्मा, हर हर महादेव. बॉट हैंडल्स ऐसे ही बनते हैं. वो अपने हैंडल में पाकिस्तान में बैठा हुआ ये तो लिखेगा नहीं कि मैं ISI फ्रंट हैंडल हूँ, ISI प्रोपेगेंडा विंग, वो यही लिखता है।
पद्मजा हम
अरुण कुमार, हर हर महादेव, ऐसे भी बॉट हैंडल्स होते हैं।
Padmaja, I have a strong objection to it. Please, Padmaja, I have a strong objection to this guy, Shoaib. Why is defending Pakistan? मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा कि why is defending Pakistan? ये पाकिस्तान की कुछ स्पोक्सपर्सन है क्या? मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा। हमारा इतना सीरियस इशू है और शोएब पाकिस्तान को डिफेंड कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे। शोएब आप सुनिए तो सही, कम से कम आपकी वीडियो पाकिस्तान के लोग चलाएंगे अभी थोड़ी देर बाद। दिस वीडियो विल बी रन ऑन पाकिस्तान चैनल्स आफ्टर फ्यू मिनट्स। ये शोएब शायद समझ नहीं रहे, आपको दिखाकर तो लोगों को बताएंगे कि शोएब भी कह रहा था इंडिया में ट्रोल हो रहे थे, जबकि आप भी जानते हैं ये बोर्ड जो बनाए गए थे वो सारे के। यही मेरा सवाल था कि ये देखिए अब तो बोलने नहीं दे रहे। आई डोंट नो ये कैसे फाइट कर रहे हैं। ये तो ऐसे जैसे उनकी पेमेंट का है, पाकिस्तान की पेमेंट।
Finish your point, then I want to bring in Tehseen Poonawala. Yes, finish your point.
Humble request. थैंक यू। मेरा पद्मजा यही कहना है कि दो बातें। पहले जो इन्होंने कहा कि 20% 22% लोग जो हैं हमारे सोशल मीडिया पे दिखाई दे रहे इंडिया से, वो उसके हक में बोल रहे थे, जिनमें मैं भी हूं, जिनमें हरभजन भी है, जिनमें पद्मजा भी है, जिनमें देश के बहुत सारे बड़े बड़े लोग हैं जिन्होंने उनके हक में ट्वीट किया। तो पहली बात ये वो 22% है। सेकेंडली ये जो बोट अकाउंट्स थे, मेरा यही कहना है कि ये सारे के सारे मोहम्मद जुबैर के पास कैसे इमीडिएटली आ गए, विद इन 2 मिनट्स उनके पास सारे अकाउंट्स कैसे आ गए, उन्होंने कैसे ढूंढे, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हमारे लिए समझने के लिए। और शोएब जी को भी समझना चाहिए इसको ढूंढने के लिए। आपको तो 18 मिनट 20 मिनट लगे अभी डिबेट में भी, लेकिन उनके पास 1 मिनट में सारे आ गए। उन्होंने इसका एक सारा फॉर्मेट बनाया और उसी को उन्होंने इमीडिएटली ट्वीट कर दिया। तो आप समझें कि इसका मतलब जुबैर के साथ वो इन टच था आदमी जो सारे बॉट्स बनाकर ट्वीट कर रहा था, उसने सारे के सारे उसको व्हाट्सएप में शेयर किए और उन्होंने तुरंत उसका एक कोलैज बनाया और ट्वीट कर दिया। मेरा यही बात शोएब जी बताना था आपको, इसलिए मेरी आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है हम भारत की बात करें, हम पाकिस्तान को डिफेंड मत करें यहाँ पे।
Okay, that is your complaint, sir. However, it is up to the person who you have made this allegation against to explain how and why they decided to use these handles and what was the intention. But I'll give the final word to Tehseen Poonawala, and before I give you the final word, let me just quickly jog your memory. Because we follow cricket so closely and so passionately, just in the recent past, Virat Kohli has been brutally questioned, trolled. Not that it's a good thing or it is condonable, but it is only about people getting over excited or over emotional. He was criticized for his form during the England series. Rishabh Pant's captaincy was criticized earlier. Shreyas Iyer was trolled on Twitter in July after a 4-ball duck in the first T20 against West Indies. So this is wrong. People should not be trolled. But it's got nothing to do with your religion, and sure as hell it has got nothing to do with any connection with the Khalistan force or otherwise. Tehseen Poonawala.
You're right, Padmaja. And as much as we disagree with each other, we all stand for Team India winning and we all want India to win. So yes, sometimes fans get very passionate. They go after Virat Kohli. Sometimes they even go after his family or his personal life. And that's the nature of how sports is. I'm not justifying it's good or bad. That's the nature of the life. But to say that Shami was trolled because of a religion or yesterday's trolling was because somebody is Sikh, that's not true. India does not follow that. What hurt me is Pakistan or Pakistani celebrities giving us lectures. Pakistan is a country where minorities are very badly treated. To the last point, I hope my friend Shoaib Jamai can understand, as you rightly said, how this works. Because if you were to Google search, say Khalistani, perhaps my tweet will come on top because I'm a verified account saying that you cannot be using this language. So that's just how it works. But the more important pertinent point is, before we jump the gun, see, did anyone of consequence tweet and say this man is a Khalistani? No, it was being done by some random accounts. So where did these random accounts come from? And what made me think that these are bot accounts is, if you just go down to the history of these accounts, they're random tweets of some movie, some forward, something. They've not even made original tweets. So obviously it's been done by some, some sort of a propaganda. So we must be careful not to let our country down, because we all stand united to make India win. So just coming up with random tweets, I think we should be a little more mature than that.
So
we can disagree on other issues.
If this is born out of ignorance, as perhaps in the case of Vivek Srivastava and Shoaib Jamai, it is our job and our duty to educate and inform. But if it is born out of malice, as Mr. Sirsa is alleging, then it must be equally called out and investigated. And finally, as a parting shot, for Pakistani trolls and bots who are sitting there and waxing eloquent on how Arshdeep is being treated in India, let's remind them that in the same match yesterday, when Fakhar Zaman dropped a catch and conceded 4 runs on the last ball, he was equally, in fact perhaps more brutally trolled in his own country by his own countrymen. I will leave it at that. Thank you very much, all gentlemen, for joining me. Arshdeep, I think I speak for the country. Every cricket lover may disagree with the way you played, may even get very angry with you in the future, but nobody has, is, or will ever question your patriotism. Thank you. Now, the Modi government's ambitious Central Vista project is slowly becoming a reality. In 3 days from now, the Prime Minister is expected to inaugurate the revamped Central Vista Avenue, and ahead of the big reveal, the centre today gave the public a peek into the new and improved version of the avenue. The 3-kilometre long stretch, starting from North and South Block to India Gate, includes the Rajpath, its adjoining lawns and canals, rows of trees, Vijay Chowk, and the India Gate Plaza. Now, this redone avenue will be more pedestrian friendly, will have better connectivity, and just in case you were wondering what would happen to the iconic ice cream sellers, worry not, they have also been given a dedicated space. 6 new parking lots, amphitheatres, over 100 toilets, all to ensure a first-class experience for visitors. Perhaps it is these conveniences that have forced even the harshest of critics of the Vista to do a course correction. A case in point being Tavleen Singh, who while driving through the renovated stretch admitted that it has enhanced the beauty of this famous Delhi road. To put the turnaround in context, just about 8 months ago, she only saw mounds of debris scattered where there were manicured lawns, and called upon the Modi government to stop the Vista redevelopment and use the money for health infrastructure instead. This change of heart about the Modi government's vision seems to go beyond Central Vista. Just yesterday, prominent columnist and economist Swaminathan Iyer wrote about how the critics of Sardar Sarovar project in Gujarat had been proven wrong by the benefits that it accrued. Iyer mentioned how critics like Medha Patkar had managed to mislead thousands of people and must apologize now for stalling a project that is benefiting millions. So the question now is this criticism of government and its policies born out of political compulsions? Is there a blind baiting of welfare policies without analyzing the merits? And will those people who stood in the way of changes, which may not be apparently visible straight away, now admit to their mistakes and their short-sightedness?
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Dr. Aparajita Sarangi, MP and National Spokesperson, joins us. Tushar Gupta, Senior Editor, Swaraj, continues with us, as does political analyst Tehseen Poonawala. But I'll start with Anurag Bhadoria, National Spokesperson, Samajwadi Party. Anurag ji, Central Vista, नर्मदा डैम, सिर्फ 2 एग्जाम्पल्स हैं. पहले अपोज किया, अब एक्नॉलेज करेंगे कि सही थे?
देखिए, हम लोगों ने हमेशा से कहा है कि देश को जो पहले ज़रूरत है उसकी वो ज़रूरतें पूरी होनी चाहिए. जब ये सेंट्रल विस्टा प्रोजेक्ट की बात हो रही थी तो हमने कहा अभी राष्ट्रपति भवन है, ऐसा तो है नहीं कि राष्ट्रपति भवन खराब हो गया है या प्रधानमंत्री निवास खराब हो गया है या पार्लियामेंट जो हमारी है संसद वो खराब हो गई है. अभी सारी तो बिल्डिंगें अच्छी थी, बिल्डिंगों में कोई खराबी नहीं थी, तो अभी इतनी हड़बड़ी क्यों है जब देश मुसीबतों से गुजर रहा है, जब यहाँ पे अर्थव्यवस्था देश की अच्छी नहीं है, महंगाई बेरोजगारी चरम सीमा पे है. तो अगर हम उन प्रोजेक्टों को रोक के अगर हम दूसरे जैसे हेल्थ व्यवस्था पे हम पैसे खर्च कर लेते, या जो देश के अंदर में युवा परेशान है उसको कैसे पैरों पे खड़ा किया जाए, कैसे उनके लिए उनकी मदद की जाएगी, इस पे हम बात कर लेते. कैसे यहाँ पे कोविड काल गुजर के गया, लोगों का रोज़गार गया, उनका दोबारा से उन लोगों को रोज़गार दिला के कैसे उनको उनके घरों के खर्चे चले, जिससे घरों में जो हर घर में जो टेंशन है वो खत्म हो. तो वो जिम्मेदारी बनती, जैसे आप कोई घर होता है घर में
अनुराग जी, आपने इतनी सारी चीजें बोली, आपने एक सिंपल सवाल का जवाब नहीं दिया. डू यू थिंक द क्रिटिसिज्म ऑफ नर्मदा डैम एंड सेंट्रल विस्टा वाज मिसप्लेस्ड? और जहां तक कि आपका पहला आर्गुमेंट था कि राष्ट्रपति भवन में क्या खराबी है, उसको चेंज क्यों किया जा रहा है, ऐसा तो है नहीं कि आप गाड़ी तब बदलते हैं जब वो गाड़ी रुक जाती है एकदम, जब उसका इंजन या कार्बोरेटर निकल के सड़क पे गिर जाता है. आप नई गाड़ी लेते हैं ना? नहीं, अभी पार्लियामेंट मुझे लगता है पहले आप अकेली छोटी गाड़ी चलाते थे जब आप अकेले थे, जब आपके परिवार में 10 सदस्य होते तो आप थोड़ी बड़ी गाड़ी लेते. सुन तो लीजिए, ऐसा तो है नहीं कि आप 10 सदस्यों को मारुति में डालते रहते हैं जब तक वो जल ना जाए पूरी गाड़ी. पार्लियामेंट हो गया, आपकी बैटिंग हो गई तो मैं बोल लूं. मैंने कहा कि पार्लियामेंट अभी अच्छी खासी मजबूत है. आपको क्या लगता है राष्ट्रपति भवन खराब हो गया है क्या?
मैं आपसे ही पूछता हूँ, क्या राष्ट्रपति भवन अभी उस लायक नहीं है? क्या उसमें राष्ट्रपति जी रह पाए? क्या आपको लगता है नॉर्थ ब्लॉक साउथ ब्लॉक में कोई कमी आ गई है? क्या आपको लगता है कि जो पार्लियामेंट एनेक्सी अभी नई बनी थी, कोई पुरानी नहीं है पार्लियामेंट एनेक्सी?
आई एम श्योर अगर आप नॉर्थ ब्लॉक साउथ ब्लॉक जाते ही रहते होंगे, अगर आप हाल फिलहाल में गए होंगे नॉर्थ ब्लॉक साउथ ब्लॉक, तो आपसे सवाल पूछते नहीं थे कि उसमें खराबी क्या है। वहां पे जो लोग काम करते हैं वो आपको बता देंगे क्या प्रॉब्लम है। सिमिलरली कृषि भवन में क्या प्रॉब्लम है वो भी आपको लोग बता देंगे। बट एनीवे, दिस इज अ डिबेट ऑफ द पास्ट। एक आखिरी बार आपसे कोशिश करूंगी पूछने की, आपको लगता है, अब आप मानते हैं दैट क्रिटिसिज्म and attempts to block Narmada Dam and Central Vista were wrong?
हमें लगता है कि सेंट्रल विस्टा में जितना पैसा खर्च किया गया, अगर पैसे को जिस समय देश कोविड काल से गुजर रहा था, देश को जरूरत थी कि आप हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ज़्यादा डेवलप करते, इस पैसे से अगर हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ज़्यादा डेवलप किया गया होता इतनी शिद्दत से, जितनी शिद्दत से आपने ये बनाया विस्टा, तो आप शायद कोविड काल में इतने लोगों की मौतें नहीं होती।
वैसे शायद आपको पता नहीं होगा that in the time that Central Vista was being built, the outlay for vaccines was increased. Along with that, additional money was also allocated to give free food grains to people during the time of COVID. तो वो अलग से एलोकेशन किया गया था, ये इधर और नहीं होता है। बट एनीवे, आंसर दैट। अपराजिता सारंगी, इज द गवर्नमेंट टुडे ग्लोटिंग? बिकॉज इन रेट्रोस्पेक्ट एटलीस्ट देयर इज एन एक्नॉलेजमेंट। अपराजिता सारंगी।
A very good evening. It has become a fashion with all these people to criticize each and every move of Prime Minister Modi and his team. Every initiative, every intention, every action of Prime Minister Modi and his team has to be criticized. Otherwise, they will not stay relevant. And this particular Central Vista project is definitely an example. I just want to say that all these doomsayers have been rebuffed again. Now, Medha Patkar, you remember the days when she used to sit for Narmada Bachao Aandolan, and she had created an uproar in the country, and she had actually halted the progress of that major dam project. And now we are all well aware of the fact that the Narmada Dam has actually benefited millions of people. Through the irrigation facility and through the drinking water facility. Many tribals have also been benefiting. So I think these people must understand that this Central Vista project has been grounded with the noblest of intention. The entire area has to look beautiful. In 1911, Edwin Lutyens had designed this area, and now it's high time that we take into account the needs of the day and we give very good atmosphere, very positive surroundings to the people who work there, to the government servants also who work there, and that is why this is going to be called Kartavya Path. That is what it is being contemplated.
So Poonawala, if you look at the larger picture, you know, individually we have argued for each of these projects and what they bring to the table. We're not even going to go back on that debate on talk of how maintenance charges, maintenance expenditure, electricity charges in most of these bhavans was much less less return on investment. We are putting in far too much money, we are not getting enough returns. That's point number one. But look at the larger picture. Rafale acquisition, Central Vista construction, Narmada Dam that we spoke of earlier. Is this a symptom of what Mr. Jaitley used to call compulsive contrarians? You are like, okay, this government is doing it, we must oppose it. Let's oppose it and then we'll talk later.
No, Padmaja. Let's separate the two, because Narmada is a very different issue from Central Vista and from Rafale. So, for example, in Rafale, like in Bofors, I think the BJP was horrendous. In fact, Mr. Jaitley himself went after Bofors, and the Delhi High Court came heavily down on him that, when they lost the cases in 4 international courts and 2 Indian courts, and spent 400 crores on a 60 crore corruption allegation. So that the BJP opposed the nuclear deal, 1-2-3 agreement in cahoots with the left loonies, and I have no hesitation in calling the left loonies of our country. Narmada was a Congress project, which actually, if you go to history, the BJP opposed, then of course turned around, went along with the Narmada. They of course enhanced instead the Congress continued to support the BJP. And therefore my one advice, and I've said this publicly to both the national parties, the Congress and the BJP, first, if India has to progress, be away from the left loonies. Don't make the mistake. The BJP aligned with the left in the 1-2-3 nuclear deal. They went along with the left to try and topple the Manmohan Singh government, and the BJP had its worst performance.
I think you might be speaking too soon, because some members of those who hobnob with the left loonies have just recently signed a letter in support of Bharat Jodo Yatra. But that's a conversation for another day. Don't be surprised if some of those loonies are going to be jodoing Bharat in the next few days. But go on.
I'm very critical of those loonies, including Yogendra Yadav, who said, and I will not mince my words, that the Congress must die. So my advice to the Congress, which I love and I've always voted for, stay away from these loonies. They will only make the Congress irrelevant like they made the BJP irrelevant. A. B. I'll come to the Central Vista, which is a completely separate issue. In the Central Vista, while some of those issues do require renovation, including the Parliament, which was spoken about during the Congress time, some of these I feel are vanity projects. Some of them, for example, the new house of the Prime Minister, the new house of the Vice President, not the Rashtrapati Bhavan as alleged by the earlier spokesperson. They are vanity projects, but I think that now that the Central Vista has been constructed or is going on, now you go along with it. But some of it is a vanity project. Others of it could be economical projects.
Okay, so this was Tushar Gupta not being contrarian. This was just about putting a little red flag here and there just to keep the government in check. And Narmada, of course, is the Congress project.
But we should keep the government in check, shouldn't we, Padmaja?
No, of course you should. Of course you should. But there is a difference between keeping somebody in check and hounding somebody mindlessly. And I think it's not a thin line. It's a very, very wide line. It's almost a margin.
Take 10 seconds, Tushar.
No, but let Tushar have his say and then I'll come back to you. Tushar.
Just 2 seconds.
No, you never take 2 seconds. Tushar will have his 2 seconds and then I'll come back to you. Yes.
Okay, give Tushar.
Padmaja, the problem is in India, all the activists, all the NGOs, all the Natak Mandlis, their favorite time pass is to restrict each and every infrastructure project. Because a successful infrastructure project means good economy for the region, and a good economy for the region is less number of people to exploit, as Teesta Seetalwad used to, as Medha Patkar used to. So the favorite time pass of all these activists in India is to halt as many infrastructure projects as they can, be it a metro, be it a dam, be it a Central Vista. Now, Anurag Bhadoria here tells that the money that was being sent on Central Vista should have been allocated to the tension that the families were going through in COVID-19. I asked him, there were 1200 crore rupees that were allocated in the last year's financial budget. This year it's 2600 crore, total 4000 crore approximately, give or take. Where would he want to rather put this money? Have the people that have been vaccinated any less than they should have been? Has there been less number of expenditure on healthcare? No. Does the Samajwadi have a plan on how that money should have been spent better, and where were the fault lines or where the gaps were that could have been covered? No. What they want to do is sit on every news show, every news debate and cry out how the Central Vista should not have been made. And I do not blame him, because the Samajwadi party does not have enough MPs to understand the shambles in which our current parliament is and how badly we need a new Central Vista. And you were right, probably if he made a trip to the north or the south block, he would understand why we need a new office for a legislature, for an executive.
Okay, Mr. Bhadoria, I think it's only fair you get to respond.
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी का एक ही काम है, कैसे मार्केटिंग इवेंट किया जाए, कैसे वाहवाही लूटने की कोशिश की जाए। मैं पूछना चाहता हूं कि राजपथ का नाम अगर आप कहते उन्होंने क्या नाम दिया है, अभी नया दिया, आपको याद नहीं होगा, कर्तव्य पथ अगर वो कर्तव्य पथ कर देंगे, सुन तो लीजिए, कर्तव्य पथ कर देंगे, तो क्या राजपथ का नाम कर्तव्य पथ हो जाने से देश के अंदर में जो महंगाई है कम हो जाएगी? मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, क्या बेरोजगारी एकदम खत्म हो जाएगी? क्या इलेक्ट्रिसिटी की सारी समस्या का समाधान हो जाएगा? क्या लोगों को पानी की सुविधाएं एकदम मिलने लगेंगी? हेल्थ व्यवस्था एकदम लोगों की ठीक हो जाएगी? चारों तरफ खुशहाली का माहौल आ जाएगा? मेरा सीधा सा सवाल है, अगर उसको कर्तव्य पथ कर देंगे, अगर ये करने से होता है तो आप कीजिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, लेकिन आपको सिर्फ अपना एक नाम देना है। राजपथ की जगह एक कर्तव्य पथ देने की बात है, सिर्फ देना ही है, नाम देना है, जिससे कि वाह भाई वो हमने एक नया नाम दिया कि हमने कर्तव्य पत्र दिया जिससे कि काम करने की एक आप इंडिकेशन उसको इंडिकेट कर रहे हैं।
You're absolutely right. अनुराग जी, उससे ना महंगाई कम होगी ना उससे गरीबी चली जाएगी, पर उससे एक चीज जरूर होगी कि आप जो अपना क्रिटिसिज्म का कर्तव्य है वो पूरा करने के लिए आपको एक और टॉपिक जरूर मिल जाएगा, बिकॉज अब नर्मदा का टॉपिक खत्म हो गया है, सेंट्रल विस्टा का टॉपिक खत्म हो गया है, तो कम से कम कर्तव्य पथ will keep you in business for the next few days. I'm going to leave it at that because the next 3 days, you say the proof of the pudding is in the eating. The people of India will be actually able to judge whether this was a right decision to take or not. Sometimes we must be very critical when we hear of causes about how much we want to believe in those causes and how much it is just agenda. Thanks very much, all gentlemen. Aprajita Sarangi for joining me. Thanks for watching.
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break. At 10.
Delhi Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena has sent a legal notice to AAP leaders for alleging corruption charges and raising defamatory slogans against the LG. AAP leaders have been asked to reply on it within the next 48 hours. The Jharkhand Assembly passed a confidence motion tabled by CM Hemant Soren amid a walkout staged by BJP leaders. As many as 48 MLAs voted in the favor of the confidence motion. Union Home Minister Amit Shah held a meeting with BJP leaders in Mumbai. The Home Minister discussed strategy for the upcoming BMC elections. Actor Kamal Rashid Khan has been arrested by Mumbai police over sexual harassment charges. A case of expulsion of Hindu Dalit teachers by a Muslim school in Aligarh has come to light. The school management fired 2 teachers allegedly because of their religion. The last rites of former Tata Sons chairman Cyrus Mistry, who was killed in a car accident near Mumbai, will be performed tomorrow at Worli Crematorium.
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break.
Hello and welcome to this Times Now special broadcast. In today's episode of Inside Karnataka, we discuss about the upcoming BBMP election. What do these polls mean for the citizens of Silicon City? What's at stake for the political parties? We give you all these details.
The News Hour at 10.
In his bid to bring opposition together to fight the BJP in the 2024 Lok Sabha polls, Bihar CM met Rahul Gandhi today. In a major move, the Modi government has decided to rename Rajpath and Central Vista lawns as Kartavya Path. Liz Truss becomes Britain's next Prime Minister, winning the leadership race against Indian origin Rishi Sunak. 2 Russian embassy staff members have died and 11 others were critically injured in Kabul after a suicide bomber detonated explosives near the entrance of the Kabul embassy.
The most pressing issues, the most informed minds, free and fair exchange. Converse India with Rahul Shivshankar.
On to some other stories making headlines. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar will be visiting Delhi and meeting several opposition leaders, including Rahul Gandhi from the Congress, in his bid to bring them together to fight the BJP in 2024 Lok Sabha polls. A major fire has broken out in a building near Chandni Chowk metro station. 40 fire tenders have been rushed to douse the flames. More than 150 fire personnel have been deployed at the site. No casualties have been reported so far. A massive fire broke out in Chintalmet area in Rangareddy district. 3 shops gutted after massive fire blaze erupted in Chintalmet in Telangana. No casualties here as well. India has reported nearly 6,000 fresh COVID cases with 25 deaths in the last 24 hours. The country's daily positivity rate stands at 2.6%. Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching News Now Overnight, where we get you the long and short of every single story that made headlines through the day. First up, top 50. In the case pertaining to killing of a minor tribal girl in Dumka, National Child Rights Body has alleged that they were blocked from meeting the family of the victim. Meanwhile, massive protests broke out in the district as well. Several organizations called for a bandh as chorus for justice for the tribal girl grows. Meanwhile, in yet another shocker, 3 women were found murdered in Jharkhand's Sonahatu district. Investigation begins. Amidst the Dumka horror, political storm gains momentum. JDU alleges that BJP is polarizing the case. Jharkhand Assembly passes a confidence motion tabled by Chief Minister Hemant Soren amidst a walkout staged by BJP legislators. As many as 48 MLAs voted in favor of the confidence motion. After winning the trust vote, Chief Minister Soren takes a jibe at BJP, says the Saffron Party wants to create an atmosphere of civil war and wants to fan riots to win elections. BJP has released a video alleging that there was a sting operation showing the modus operandi of sting master, according to BJP, in this case being Arvind Kejriwal. BJP has released the sting on father of a key liquor gate accused, claims vendors paid up to 500 crore rupees in bribe for unchecked profiteering. Union Minister Anurag Thakur hit out at Aam Aadmi Party, claiming that its silence on liquor scam says a lot. Sisodia, taking a jibe at the BJP and responding to the sting released by them, said that it is a joke. He also said that it is fake. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is on a 4-day diplomatic visit to India. The two countries are likely to ink 7 crucial pacts. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar takes a swipe at UPA-era government's foreign policy, saying that India was restricted from enhancing ties with Israel due to vote bank politics of some parties. Congress has countered this statement. They say India under Congress stood for countries that were oppressed.